Okay, I think I am live. Um, yes, I am. Hello, everyone. I'm a bit sick. I wanted to go on the street today. The weather is pretty good to go out there. It's not too warm, not too cold, but I'm a bit sick. I got a viral infection. I don't know how. Um, but yeah, I kind of miss the times when people wore masks. I guess because you wouldn't get so many viral infections. Anyway, I don't want to get there. I thought it would be cool to do something, to at least do some outreach. I won't be, I don't think I can stay for as long as I normally do with this Discord outreaches where we do like 3 or 4 hours. So I'll only be doing it for an hour or an hour and a half or two. I don't know. There's nobody here yet, by the way, but I'm sure people will arrive at some point. But yeah, let's do some outreach together. Um, hey, Dial J for Josh. Nice to see you here. We're gonna do some outreach, and yeah, I did not change my glasses, by the way. Actually, I have two pairs, this and that one, and I'm using this one today because it's just a bit more comfortable, I guess, now. Um, Now that I'm holding these headphones for a long time, they become a bit more comfortable. So yeah, let's go without further ado. Let's go to the stream. Okay, let me put this screen here, and now let's join the Discord.
You should go vegan. You should stop paying for exploitation and killing of animals. And if you do it yourself, you should stop doing it directly. That means that you adopt a plant-based diet with a proper supplementation. That means taking at least B12 and D, vitamin D3, vegan vitamin D3, if you should be able to find that. And best practice, in my opinion, is just taking a multi-supplement, at least at first. Don't forget to eat protein. So plant proteins are in, let me show you again, in legumes, beans. Yeah,
Is there any difference between plant protein and what do you call that, meat and
we
what else?
just went through this. I talked for a really long time, so we have a lot of
Yeah, there
research
is.
that there is no difference between them.
Okay. There's
In
no
the end, when
difference.
you eat them, if you eat enough protein, there is no difference between them. You can build muscle, you can be healthy. Just eat a variety of foods. Prioritize because you want to grow muscle. Prioritize plant protein, so eat more legumes, beans, lentils, peas, tofu, textured vegetable protein, seitan, and in your other aspects of life. Stop buying leather, stop buying silk, stop going to zoos, because all of that is exploitation of animals. And generally speaking, right, in your mind, just start considering animals as not objects, as actual sentient beings that are worthy of our consideration, that are worthy enough for us to not breed, exploit, torture, and kill them for unnecessary stuff.
Okay. I heard somewhere the Muslims they have a festival called Idul Adha.
Mhm.
So they kill they
Yeah.
sacrifice an animal
Mhm.
for the ritual.
Yeah.
Like every year.
Yeah.
And
What do I think
um
about it? Is the
what do you
question?
think about it?
Yeah, it's a horrific practice. It's like an absolute horrendous thing to do, taking a sentient animal and killing them because it's a tradition, right? They don't have to do it. They can do it without
But
slaughtering an
but
animal. They
in
can just like thank God by giving something of their own, of their money, to the poor, or sacrifice it to Allah, whatever. And they choose to take a sentient being and sacrificing them, which is an oxymoron. Sacrifice can only come from you. And those animals
yeah.
do not consent. They cannot mentally consent to being killed for a god they probably don't know exists and don't believe in.
Okay, there is a thing in Islam that if you want to sacrifice, you can. If you don't, you don't. There is no you call what?
Exactly. So it
Um,
becomes incredibly unnecessary, which makes it
it's not
incredibly
necessary.
cruel
Yeah,
and immoral.
too much.
Yeah.
And in also this in Islam mythology, this said the cow or the animal was killed, he will be in heaven in future. Like, yeah, that's it.
Sorry, I know the opposite. The opposite is if you spare an animal's life, if you help an animal, then you get to heaven, right?
No, like the animal will be in heaven.
Well, I don't think they care about it. I think they care about their mortal lives.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say Islam says and just
Yeah, I don't know about
give.
that as well. So can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
tell us, Dali, if that's true or not?
No. Give explanation or reference. Not say that or go to heaven. It's not easy like that. And
Yeah.
but I know really I don't have some reference for now.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
Ali,
but
you
what I know
Muslim?
is yes. But what I know is Islam in many lines in Quran Kareem. He says to respect animals, and he says that when killing crow or something like that or eat, it's not haram. It's not haram. It's not
Yeah,
haram.
it's not haram, but it's not mandatory either. And if you
Yeah,
are
it's not
capable, like
mandatory.
if you
but
are
with moderation. With moderation, I think. It's
well,
not.
it doesn't matter if moderation or not. Like if you kill an animal, you killed that animal. They don't care if you do it not often to other people. They're an individual. They care about their lives.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to do this. That's the point. Nowhere in the Quran does it say you have to kill animals. It like permits you.
No.
And it permits you in
Yes.
the context
Yes.
of like the whenever it was written, I think the 14th
Eating
century or
or
something like that, right? Back
yes.
then, there was not like could have been that there was not a choice maybe rather than just like killing animals so that you can actually survive. Today, survival without killing animals is incredibly easy, and if we're looking at like a global population, it actually impedes our survival as human species to exploit and slaughter animals on the scale that we do and on any scale, frankly. It just impedes our progression as humans.
Yes, really, I didn't understand you a lot because I didn't have a big knowledge in English. But I
I
understand
apologize.
something.
So
So,
maybe I
uh,
can say it simply. So
yes,
in
yes,
Islam, you don't have
yeah,
to kill an animal, right?
yes. I understand that
It's
that you
not
said in
mandatory.
Islam you don't have to kill the animals. You don't have to,
Yeah.
but it
So
let you. It with
yeah.
some.
It allows you to kill
Allah.
animals in the context of when the Quran and Hadith were written. Back then, it could be that you needed to kill animals. Today, 21st century, you don't need to. And when you don't need to, it becomes immoral.
Yes, I understand.
Is it
So
illegal?
if when we come in my country, for example, where I live in, for example, in Tunisia, when they someone who sell meat, so he sell meat, when he kill the crow or mouton. I didn't
Yeah,
the name the name
sheep.
black crow. Ship, yes, ship. He says some religion thing. He says Bismillah. He says
Hmm.
Bismillah when he get. So and what I know is that is prohibited to kill dogs or cats. For just the meat is allows you with
Without any reason,
moderation.
you can't
That's what I know.
kill any animal.
It's just but like post mortem says we know the
We
or we
cannot
can
choose.
live
Yeah, we can live
we can
without.
live we can live without killing them. We can
Yeah.
live without killing them. Yes, yes.
So do you think,
Sorry.
let's say there is a world around us, that in two worlds, and you can choose just one. In one world, we kill and exploit animals for when we don't need to, and in the other world, we don't kill and exploit animals because we don't need to. Which world is better?
Yes, for
From the
sure. I
Islamic
think
thinking and everything will be
no,
the
no,
second world.
Yeah. So I think we should be
no, no.
vegan. I
The
think Muslims should be
second.
vegan.
No, no.
And
I think
but you can't change
not
that.
about
You
for
can.
abstraction, without thinking as Muslim or something like that. Just the second one, and like a Muslim, I sure the second one. Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. I think Muslims should choose to be vegan, right?
Go.
Choose.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Yeah, they must be vegan. I agree with that. Yeah.
It's on their personal matter.
Uh,
So Dali, why not?
Like you can
it's
do everything.
it's
Islam is the
it's
most
hard.
chill
It's hard.
I've seen
It's hard to
religion.
it's hard to
It's the
convince
most chill
to con
religion.
Sorry,
it's hard to
can
convince
just
people.
Dali talk for us 1 second? Go on, Dali.
Yeah, no problem. My bad.
Thanks. Thanks. It's hard to convince people to
No,
don't eat
hold on, hold on. So
meat.
here's the thing,
Not for
Dali.
okay.
So here's
Uh,
the thing. I'm not talking to other people right now. I'm talking to you. You think that the world where we don't exploit and kill animals when we don't need to is a good world, is a better world than the world that we right now live in. So do you know how we change the world?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
It's a good word,
yeah,
but
by taking we
there is
change. Hold on, Dali. So we change the world
okay.
by doing it ourselves first, and then whoever does it are changing the world. Now, you also, once you change yourself, you can try to convince the people around you, the way you are convinced right now, to also change. And that's how the world changes. That's how we changed everything. Some people stood up, took responsibility, said what we've been doing up till now was immoral, and now we should be more moral. We have the choice to be more moral. But it requires some people to stand up and do what's right. Yeah?
Such a good good words and a good ideas. But I think even for myself, it's hard to apply it. Yeah, but it's a good ideas. And
What do you think?
this word,
Wait, wait,
What do you
wait,
think
wait, wait.
would be hard to apply?
Yeah, yeah, when you say it's hard to apply, are you taking into consideration the victims of your choices?
I didn't understand,
So let's
my
put it this way.
friend.
When you consume an animal product, are there victims?
The animals are victims.
Yeah. So now the question is, in this action that you're doing that is creating victims,
Yeah.
is it harder for you to stop or harder for the victims?
Uh, it's hard to, for example, to stop, for example, buying the meat. It's
You
hard.
know what you just do? You just buy other stuff.
Yeah.
But Chip is asking, what is harder? For you to just buy other things, or for
Yeah.
animals who are slaughtered for the things that you keep buying?
It's the second one.
Yeah. So
You
then
think it's okay.
so then don't you think you should
Yeah.
consider them more, given that it's harder for them and they don't have a choice? Like you have a choice, don't you? You can make different choices. And whenever you make this choice that where you create victims, you're restricting the victim's choice to, live.
Yeah. But for my example, for my mind, no, there is a lot of other topics that are more important than animals. There so children and victims are killing every day in Gaza.
Wait,
So
wait, wait, wait,
so
wait,
what?
wait, 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 wait. No, 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 no.
The,
This is a classic derailing, right? Because you're saying there's other things to care about in this world. Sure, you can care about other things, but when you make this choice, whatever it is, when you're buying food or clothing, you are making choices for yourself. I'm assuming nobody's forcing you to make these choices. So when you make these choices, you can always just choose to not support this oppression. We're not telling you fight for the animal rights. That would be cool. We're telling you stop oppressing animals.
means oppression.
Oppressing means being cruel and unjust.
Uh, uh, is that buying meat? Is that is being crucial?
I mean, it
So
is cruel, right? Like if somebody, let's put it this way, if somebody bought a product and whenever they buy that product, somebody comes and stabs you,
yeah.
would that be cruel towards you?
Itu udah break up, tapi ini
Yes.
May I say something?
Yeah.
Um, for reality, I didn't understand a lot, but something. So I can't. When you explain me,
Okay, well, dial J
so
for
you must
Josh. Let me put it this way. You said there's
just
there
put example. Just speak sample words, please. Sorry,
yeah. So
to
you
to understand you.
yeah, so you have a problem with children dying in Gaza, right?
Yes, big problem, really.
Okay.
That's
Well,
hardest.
let me put it this way.
Hurt me a lot.
If
Yes.
if I were to be paying for children to die
Yeah.
in Gaza and I had an alternative to not do that, wouldn't you tell me please
Yes.
stop?
Yes, I tell you.
Yeah, so we are in a position right now where we're telling you you're paying for animal children to be killed for you. Please stop.
Okay. So a good phrase.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I can. I think I can.
I think you can too. Like I think if you care about a little bit of fairness, you can definitely do it. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
but
I say something.
just that just last phrase. But when I have this decision, that's not affect when the others do it. That do the opposite. So you understand
Yeah,
me? So,
it may not, but just like how you said, like if I am paying for children to be killed and you tell
yeah, I
me
understand.
stop, like sure others might be doing it also, hence why we're here talking to other people trying to get as many people to stop as possible, but you as an individual could still make changes and make the life different for some animals, not all of them, but some of them.
Yes. Here in my country, the just sheep and crows, and there are some little bit animals that are being killed and for selling.
I mean, yeah, it's so like
Yeah.
there's 80 billion, so there's 8 billion people on this planet. If somebody
Hello.
chooses if if somebody chooses to not oppress you, or if somebody chooses to oppress you, let's put it this way, if somebody chooses to take your life out of 8 billion people, it makes absolutely no difference to the whole population, but it makes all the difference to you. So when you choose to stop paying for animals to be killed for you, it may not make a difference in the whole number of animals, but it makes a huge difference for the animals that you chose to not get killed for you.
Yes, yes. Definitely, I agree with you, bro. Thank you.
Dali, can I give you like a site that you can go to, and they can help you out with all like the practical problems of applying your ethics? Are you open for that? Yeah,
Yes, I very open. For sure.
very good. They can help you specifically to where you live as well. So they can tell you where to buy like plant-based protein and stuff like that, and what you should prioritize and things like that. And I think like it's easy. Some things are easier than others, right? So not buying leather, that would be incredibly easy, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
just buy
Thank you.
other clothing like made out of not leather, not skin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not going to
There are
zoos, also incredibly easy, right?
Okay.
right.
Right. Yeah. So the
As a,
biggest thing you need to change is what food you buy. So just do that.
So it's not would they don't have many challenges when choosing food. I just eat. I don't have problems.
Well, you don't
So
have
it's
problems,
easy
but
for me.
the animals you eat
Yes.
have problems, right?
Yes. No. It's I mean that I can don't eating meat. I
Yeah.
can just like that.
Hello guys,
Yeah.
are you
Other
vegan?
animal products too are incredibly cruel. So no eggs, no honey, no milk or any dairy. So no
I
cheese.
think honey is not vegan.
Yeah,
It's,
honey is not
sorry,
vegan.
honey is vegan.
Some people think
Vegan.
so.
Vegan.
It kind of depends if bees are
But
sentient or not. I think bees are sentient, so we should consider
um,
them and not exploit them.
it comes from the flowers.
No, well, it comes from bees who like take the pollen from the flowers, and then they make food for themselves, and then we take that food away from them. That's exploitation.
Yeah,
Technically,
they have a hard liver, no? They have worked to collect the pollen.
Sorry?
Bees have been worked to collect the pollen
Yeah. Then they
from the
they collect that
flower.
pollen, and then they make food for themselves, and then we take that away from them. That's exploitation.
Yeah,
There's
they're made, as you say, bees are made to make food for themselves, not for us.
they collect themselves for the winter because at the winter there is no such a flower
Exactly.
in compared to summer. Hey, are you all vegan?
Yeah, are you vegan?
ولا قد نحسن شوية.
No,
okay. As
honestly,
I'm from
no.
Bangladesh, okay. Listen, there is a lot of food uh, based on
Mhm.
vegetables.
And what about Semaili? Are you vegan?
So
No, I'm eating crow momos.
You are eating crow momos? What the?
Just crow momos.
So
so
disgusting, yaar.
I know
With
that
extra spices.
people uses pesticides to plant, like
No, crow
produce
do not
plant-based
eat plant.
foods.
It eats animals.
Pesticides.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Can we hold on? Kalu and Ismail, sorry about
Family.
butchering your names.
Family.
Sammy,
Hello,
okay.
Maya.
Can we talk to
Hello,
CNA
Maya.
for a second before you like? If you guys want to talk between yourselves, maybe go to a different channel. We here talk about veganism. So SNA, you asked the question. Can you ask it again, please?
So
Are you
Yeah, yeah, go
offended?
in
on.
my country, there are a lot of vegan foods are produced.
Yeah.
I'm from Bangladesh,
Mhm.
so they use pesticides.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
just to save
they use
Carlos, I
pesticides.
really fucking asked you to, if you want to like join a conversation, then wait for it. We're gonna talk to CNA, and then
Go
we
in
can
Save
talk
them.
to
private.
you, okay?
Why are you here in a group if you want to talk one-on-one?
Guys, if you want to talk between yourselves, just go to a different channel. Here we have conversation that are
We
specific.
are talking to all people, but we are talking to only one people. So go in a private room.
Bro. Just,
No, no,
just let me
let
say
let
something,
Okay,
him.
man.
Yeah,
vote
let
for
him
me.
complete.
Vote for me. Who is with me?
No, let him complete. CNA, go on.
Okay, so um, people uses pesticides to save
Mhm,
the crops and other
mhm,
things.
mhm.
Um, in this world,
Yeah.
if
Can you please give a point? Can you make a point, please? Like an argument?
no, listen. In this world, if everyone start eating vegan, like plant-based foods, you said that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we eat that,
Mm-hmm.
so we have to use more pesticides to
Oh.
save
And how did
crops.
you reach that conclusion that we're gonna have to make more pesticides, use more pesticides?
Um, if we don't eat any animal, they will be eating our crops.
Wait. 1 point at a time. So first of all, you said that if everybody in the whole world would turn vegan, we would be using more
Yeah.
pesticide. Are you
Yeah.
open to the idea that you might be wrong on this one?
No.
So you're not
No?
open that you might be wrong?
I'm not wrong about this. I didn't think so.
Oh, if I prove to you that you are you open to changing your mind, though?
I'm here to change my mind.
Yeah. So I'm screen sharing on my screen. You can look at this. They checked 8 types of food and counted the amount of animals that are killed both by pesticide use and like directly by killing the animal for each food. So chicken is responsible, chicken meat, right, is responsible for the most animals killed for the production of chicken meat because chickens eat the most amount of crops. So some of the crops for which pesticides were used, a lot of the crops go to feed the chickens, and then we eat the chickens. So a huge amount of animals die for chickens, for chicken meat. A huge amount of animals, but less, about a little less than half, is killed for egg production, so chickens who produce eggs. A little less than that is used for, a little less than that is killed for beef, a little less than that is killed for pork, and a little less than that is killed for milk. And then you look at vegetables, fruits, and grains. The least amount of animals are killed for vegetables, fruits, and grains. So if you care about how many animals die for our food, then you should adopt a plant-based diet. But it gets worse than that because so I yesterday, I think, or the day before, talked to somebody who like raises, like they grow I think some kind of a fruit or something like that, and they use pesticides. And I asked them, right, they're farmer, horticulturist, and asked them, do you have any choice but using pesticides? In other words, do you have any way to deter the wild animals that are coming to eat your crops? Do you have any other way to deter those animals from eating your crops and like basically like destroying the food for humanity? And they said no. So our contention with eating animal products is that it's killing the most sentient animals, and it's not necessary. when it is necessary, it becomes somewhat justifiable to kill even sentient animals, even to kill humans. If there were humans that, no matter what you do, are coming and completely destroying all of your crops, as a farmer, you have a duty to feed people, right? And if your crops are destroyed, it's basically famine. It's going to kill people. So as a farmer, you have to protect crops. It's a matter of national security, food security, and the betterment of humankind. If you have any other way, you should take that way. If you don't have any other way, then you it's justifiable to resort to killing. Understand?
Okay. There are other ways, like using electric fences.
Wait.
Does stop insects?
Pesticides are for insects. Electric fences will not stop insects. You know that, right?
Listen, if there are other ways, I'm all
So
for
insects
it.
are
I
being
don't like
killed.
that animals are killed for food production. I hate it, right? That's why I'm vegan. My diet, as you can see clearly, kills the least amount of pesticide, like insects and stuff like that, right? So field mice and all that things, all of those sentient creatures. If there was a chance that I would kill 0 animals throughout my lifetime, I would choose that option. Unfortunately, it doesn't exist at this point. The only way to create that world is if we stopped purposefully breeding, exploiting, and killing the most amount of animals for unnecessary food. And then we could reduce our production of crops, because animals are fed crops. We can reduce the amount of crops that we feed to animals. And then maybe when the fields are smaller, maybe we can do something. Maybe we can put like huge, gigantic nets on top of it. Right? I'm making shit up. I don't know if that would help. But right now,
That will be costly.
sorry?
That will be costly.
Wait, but what's your
Well,
point?
it would be costly the way we grow crops right now to feed the animals. But
Yeah.
again, I'm just like throwing a solution that might be not viable, right? But right now, it's completely impossible to do anything about it. First, because farmers don't give a shit about animals. And second, because they produce crops to feed the animals.
Well, I have a question, CNA. Do you think that if a farmer were vegan, do you think they would consider using as little pesticide or harming as little animals as possible?
He will die. In 2 days, he will die
I asked the question,
so.
do you think
because of financial
think so.
crisis. And what are
I
you
think-
people? Do you even have brain? What is this question? Ki you should have vegan. Have you done agriculture before?
Really?
Both of you, postmortem and the chip guy.
yes? Yes.
Really, what kind of ways
Have you
to
done
talk to
agriculture
people?
before?
Yes.
What you harvested?
Why would that matter? So why would
No.
whether I have
matters
done
because-
agriculture or
because
not
it-
matter when
it
I have
gives
empirical
you, it
evidence
gives
on
you
the
the
other side?
sensitivity and
Hey,
it allows
hey,
you to speak in
Stop,
an AC room.
stop,
It allows you to sit in an AC room and then speak on the vegan things in our world. Okay,
I
you
think
are
Samani,
those
can you-
people who are in an AC room and throwing garbage
everybody
on the.
quiet.
Okay,
Everybody
okay.
quiet. I'm
Listen
going
to
to
me.
start kicking people out.
Listen
So,
to
Seriously.
me.
Hey,
Wenn
I'm
du jetzt
gonna
schnell deine Tasche
moderating
packst,
and
dann
not-
fährst du mit
Val,
mir anstatt
quiet,
mit Anna.
quiet. Val, quiet for a second.
Du kannst dir
Samael,
den
can you
Teufel
please-
aussuchen.
Val, quiet, please. I'm going to start moderating. Samael, can you please
Bitte?
make your point succinctly?
Ja, genau,
Can
dann
you
würde ich
please-
vorschlagen, dass du das mal machst.
Ask Kalumaya.
Val, can you mute yourself? We can hear
Yeah.
you like talking to somebody else. Val? Okay, Samael, can you make your point succinctly, please?
Have you done harvesting before? Yes or no?
Yes.
You have done harvesting, right? What you harvested?
A few potatoes from my porch.
potatoes, beans.
And you didn't spread insecticides on it.
No, because it was just like 1 meal worth of potatoes. I didn't spray any insecticides.
Okay,
It's on my
so
porch,
it
and my
isn't-
porch.
Yes,
on.
yes, I
It's on my
understood you.
porch.
It means
Hold on,
Mhm.
Jesus Christ! You asked the question. So my porch is in the winter. It's like closed by plastic, So I close the plastic so no insects can come in. And in the summer, I put nets on. So there are some insects that end up here because they come from the front door or something, or I don't know, like hatch from eggs or something like that. But like I didn't spray anything. But I could only produce like 1 meal worth of potatoes on my porch. That's all I could produce. So
Yes,
I
yes.
I have a
That's the
And,
point.
question.
and you used it for yourself, right?
I have a
sorry?
question.
And you used it for yourself.
Yeah, but it's like for
What if
one meal,
what?
one food
Okay,
meal.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
When
What
you
I
what
have
do
a
if
it,
question.
if you have to sell it?
yeah. So
What will
when
you
you
do?
do it, so oh my god, when you do it on a large scale, what I did for my 1 meal potatoes is impossible. You basically have no choice, and I talked to enough farmers to say this at this point. You have no choice. If you don't spray pesticides, they're gonna eat everything, and then
Mm.
people are gonna starve.
Yes,
Animals are gonna
Yes.
yes.
starve. Everybody's gonna starve.
Yeah, what
Yes.
even is the point? Wait a
Yes.
minute. We all have to eat. We acknowledge that we have to eat something, right? We acknowledge that when we eat something, unintentionally, we might create some harm. We would do our best to not create any harm, right? But you do realize that you create monumentally less harm when you're consuming plants than when you're consuming animal products, number one. And number two, when you're consuming animal products, you are essentially treating sentient beings, animals, like objects, which is what we're here talking about. Do you think that animals should be treated like objects?
Okay, okay. So now the conversation is jumped from the insects and it is on the animals. Okay, let's
Do
talk
you
about the
think
animals.
animals
You
should
know,
be
military.
treated like objects? I asked you a question.
Yeah,
Do you
okay.
think animals
Listen
should
to
be
me.
treated like
I'm not about.
objects?
Yes, yes.
Do you
I'm
think
not.
Indian shit is so
Talk.
intelligent?
I asked you a
What?
question. Can you please answer the question? Do you think animals should be treated like objects?
1 second. I'm answering you. You
Do
know the
you think
military thing.
poisoning animal is good?
I will ask the
Can you
question
let him
again.
answer?
Yeah, I'm
You
questioning that cheap guy.
We're not talking to you. Can you let him answer, Kalu?
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Okay,
okay.
go on, go on,
Okay,
He's
go
just
on.
can
fucking
you repeat
trying.
your question? No, okay. I am asking a question to answer your question. Okay,
Okay.
it's like a counter question type.
Do you think that animals should be
Hmm.
treated like objects?
Animals are not objects. Of course, they have lives, but it depends on us how we see them. It's if you see in humans, even I am talking about the humans, all are not equals. So how can we took animals equals like us? How can we see the animals as us if we cannot
When did
say
I
equal
say,
all people?
wait. When did I say that
Hmm.
animals should be treated equally to us? All I said is don't
If
treat
you cannot
animals
kill them,
as
you cannot
objects.
hurt them, you cannot breed them. I think these all laws are
So
applied to
wait.
humans.
So for you, it's so difficult for you to not kill an animal? Really? Is it that difficult for you to not pay for
No,
an
no, no,
animal
no,
to
no,
get
no, no.
exploited and slaughtered?
No. It's not difficult for me, but it's difficult for you to slaughter an animal. You have a sensitive heart which cannot allow your. Okay, ask a
No, no,
question.
no, 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 no.
Can you kill a
Wait.
piglet? Can you kill a child pig?
Let me be clear over here. I can kill animals, and I
Hmm.
assume I'm able to kill humans, although I think I would be traumatized by either. But just because I can do something doesn't mean I should do something, right?
Yes. It depends on the need.
No. It doesn't depend on anything. If there is a victim involved and I can choose otherwise, how can I ever morally justify creating a victim? Please tell me how, if you were in the position of a victim and somebody made a choice so that you become a victim of their choices, how is that fair towards you?
If one is okay, my English is not that good, so I have no all words to explain my point. Okay, I'm trying to what should I say? Once again, I'm trying to teach you. Okay, what I'm trying to say. Okay, listen to me. What if a military man eats a beef or a cow or a dog or a snake on a mission? What will you say it?
Does that person have a choice?
No other choice.
So, if a human being is in a situation where they would have to eat an animal or die, then obviously they would not be acting immorally. But if a human being
Yes.
were in a situation where they would have to eat another human being or die, they would also not be acting immorally if they would do so. That doesn't mean that a human being has the right to go around killing other humans.
Right. You are right.
Maybe
So
that
so
could
we
happen.
can say that veganism and vegan is nothing, because it depends on our need. If we it depends on our need what we have. If you do not have anything to eat, rather than a pig or a dog or any animal or insect and anything else, so what will you do?
No, first of all, veganism is not a diet. Do you
Would
understand that?
would you see your child dying? Would you see
First
your
of-
wife dying? Would you see
first-
your father and mother and yourself dying?
First of all, you got to stop with that, because that is not the situation. If you have access to a supermarket, which most people on this planet do, if you have access to a supermarket, you will not
But
die.
I do not have access to protein. My partners are not
you
giving
have
me
access
access
to
to
a
protein.
supermarket?
What should I do?
Do you have access to a supermarket?
Hey.
That cheap guy, yes.
Yes, you do have access to a supermarket. So you do have access to lentils, beans, chickpeas, don't you?
Do you know how expensive these are?
Yeah, they are the
You think
cheapest
beans
things
are
in
more
the
expensive
supermarket.
than beef?
Do you go in supermarket to buy these groceries?
Yes, they're the cheapest thing everywhere I've been on
Wait,
this planet.
where do you live?
They are the cheapest.
Smile, where do you live?
Within which
It's based on
country you are, brother? I think if these are these chips, if legumes and what are you
Where
saying?
do
Beans
you
are
live?
these cheap?
Where do you live?
Who is disturbing?
Where do you live?
Where do you live? I want to find out if beans are really more
Yeah.
expensive
Yeah,
than
let's
beef
look-
where you
let-
live.
let's fact check
which
your-
beans
let's fact
are you
check
talking
your
about
thing.
first? Okay.
Let's fact check your statement.
What beans are you talking about? Okay, what beans are you talking about? Legumes?
Chickpeas?
Chickpeas, lentils.
Black beans?
Black beans? What is this?
Red beans? White
Red
beans? Whatever you
white
have.
beans, whatever you have. Yeah. So where do you
I'm
live?
okay. So beans are different from legumes.
Beans are legumes by definition, but where do you live?
So legumes are not that cheap. What are
Yeah,
you
can
talking
you tell
about?
us where you live so we can fact check you that in fact
In
beans
India.
are
I
more
live in
expensive
India.
than beef
Okay,
where
in
you
India.
are?
Wow. So
I
are you saying that in
country.
India dal is not cheap?
Yes, dal is not cheap here.
Nah, you're
you
lying,
kidding
man.
me?
I've been to India. I've
You're
been to
lying.
like
No. I understood. Okay. In our country, dal is not cheap, but I think in your country the normal groceries are very expensive. So you are thinking that dal is
No.
on an average rate, but
Are you
India,
saying wait,
all
wait?
other
Are you
things are very
saying
cheap.
are you saying dal is more expensive than meat?
Oh man, and
But it provides more protein than this. If
So
I
there you go. So you
if I
can
try
get
to
protein.
complete my protein,
That wasn't the
okay,
question,
listen to
was
me.
it?
If I
The
try to
question
complete
was
my
whether you can
protein
get protein
with
or not. And you can get
they
protein.
have more
this,
income.
if I have to only if I eat meat only for taste, I will not eat it, of course. But what if I need it? What
Well, you
can I do
don't.
then?
I'm a certified nutritionist. You don't need animal products. Everything that you think you can get, that you get from animal products, you can get
What
from
about
plant-based
vitamin D?
products. What about vitamin
What
D?
what about vitamin D?
Vitamin D you get from the sun.
Yes. Yes. And how much time I have to sit in the sun?
I mean, it depends
For
on how much skin
20 minutes a
exposure
day,
and
I think.
everything. Do you think animal products are rich in vitamin D? Vitamin D is assimilated from the sun mostly.
No, it is extracted from the animals in the form of pills.
No, there is very little fucking vitamin D in animal products.
Yeah, that's such a ridiculous statement.
They extract it from the animals in pills.
No, there's very little fucking
So
what's
what
the
do you
name?
think? They
Vitamin
extracted
D
from
in
the
animal
sun
products.
to make tablets.
I'm just like,
Yeah, you just
what even
go
is
on.
your point at this point, right? Because you know you can get vitamin D, you know you can get all the other nutrients on a plant-based diet. You're just nowadays you're just trying to deflect and say, well, it's a little bit
I
from here,
think
it's a
his
little bit
original
from that.
point. I think his original point was the price, but then you guys didn't accept it, and
Well,
he didn't want to
but
give
that's
up
not
where he
true.
was living.
But it's not true.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. He lives there. We cannot go there unless you want to take a flight tomorrow and double check.
Yeah,
In this
no, we
case, you're
can
gonna
just
have
go
to.
to like the rates
You're
of
just gonna
beans
have
on
to.
a fucking
Look,
line,
you
and we can see
can
that
look
a
up. You
kilogram of
can look up
beans
the
costs
average
like
rate. You can
90
look up the
rupees.
average rate. Absolutely, you can do that. But you
Yes,
are not in
yes,
his
around
direct.
100 to 90 rupees. But
He's not gonna
other
drive
groceries
or
are
go.
around 20 to 10 rupees. So
Sorry?
I think it's double. It's 10 times expensive.
So, beef you think is like more less expensive per kilogram than beans?
No,
Please
no,
provide
no, no.
evidence.
He's not
No,
saying
no,
he
no, no, no.
thinks. He's
Listen to me.
saying
Listen
that
to me.
is the price that he has to pay.
Now, if I have to, I do not eat meat. Okay, I haven't eaten in my life, but I do not agree with the idea of veganism or pure vegetarian. I
Wait,
think
wait,
it
wait, wait.
depends on our need.
No, 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 no. So wait, because you don't agree with the idea that we should not exploit animals if we don't need to?
No, no. I personally do not agree with your idea.
So
But
that's
you
my
have an
idea.
idea.
No, no, no. That's
And
my idea. Do you agree that animals should not be exploited if we don't need to?
yes, if we do not need,
Okay, so there you
vote
go.
this.
You agree
If
with
we do not
veganism.
need,
That's it. That's it. You agree with veganism. Veganism means rejecting
I
animal
drink milk.
exploitation as much as it's possible and practicable.
I drink milk. I eat egg, but I do not eat beef,
Sorry,
Yeah.
etc.
you are now telling us the things that you do in a conversation about what you should do. So that's the wrong thing to do. I can say, oh, I
I
eat
didn't
dog,
understand you.
I eat dog testicles. I can say all of those things. It doesn't mean that it's moral for me to do.
What?
What are you saying?
Do you understand the
I'm
difference
saying,
between you doing something and you should be doing something?
so
Arab
yeah,
bhai
instead
sahab.
of laughing, if you can look at
Your
my
your
screen, please. So on my screen, I'm
your
showing.
words are like a puzzle, no?
So
His voice was amazing.
Kalu,
Yeah.
Okay, so,
guys, please, first of all, speak in English. And second of all,
yes.
so if we are having a conversation, for instance, hypothetically, of whether or not it's moral to rape women, do you think then saying, well, I do rape women, is the right thing to address in that conversation? Or should we continue talking about whether or not it's like detrimental to women to rape
If
them?
woman is like you, then I
Comparing
will,
milk and
even
eggs
if I want,
is a
I
bit,
will not.
is a bit far-fetched,
So
isn't it?
you proposing that if somebody is like me, then it's okay to rape them?
Even if I want, I will not.
Wow, dude, that wasn't even the question. Do you understand what the question was?
She asked
No,
that
no, no,
if
no,
women.
no.
Yeah.
We didn't ask if you're a misogynistic asshole. We already know you're a misogynistic asshole. We asked whether
I'm not
it's okay to be a misogynistic
Okay.
asshole or not. So just because you can be a misogynistic asshole, do you think it's the right thing to do? Do you think it's the right thing to be a misogynistic asshole?
First, tell me the definition of misogynistic.
It means you hate women.
Yeah, what is that? Oh, discrimination.
Yeah, it's discrimination
Definition,
based on
definition.
gender. Yeah, specifically based on if somebody's a woman or not.
It is illegal.
But if I do not do this, but if someone is doing on himself or herself, then what can I do?
You
If a
cannot
pre-
participate
if
in
I
rape
pinpoint
yourself.
myself that I am a man, would you do this to me if I am that? And then what? Am I misogynistic at the person who is asking question who that is misogynistic?
Guys, none of this fucking matters. We are
Yeah,
talking
we're
about
talking about
morality. When
Now
we're
it's not
talking
matter.
about Smiley, when we're talking about the morality of whether or not it's okay to rape women, saying, well, I wouldn't rape you, is the
Okay.
wrong
I'm
thing to say
Why
in
you
a
are
answering your
why you are
sorry.
conversation.
Just to
I'm
clarify,
answering your question now. Okay.
why you
I'm
are
answering
playing
question.
victim card?
I would say it was more expensive.
I will do what is necessary. Okay. I will do in any situation. I will do
Okay.
what is necessary.
Okay, let's
It
let's
doesn't
test this.
matter.
Wait,
It
wait.
doesn't matter what the work is.
Okay, is it necessary for you to drink the milk of an animal?
Yes.
What would happen if you don't drink the milk of an
It's
animal?
our day-to-day life.
No. What would happen if you don't drink the milk of an animal?
We will
Nothing.
get skinny. Skinny.
You can't get calories
I will
from
get
other
skinny, yes.
sources.
Yes, I can get. So what should I do? I leave all my work and start doing the dieting plan.
No, so you see, it is not necessary for you to drink the milk of other animals. You just lie to
So
yourself
what
and
should I
say
do for
that.
calcium?
Wait.
Because
Wait,
milk
before
is
we tackle all
What should I
that.
do?
No,
Complete protein.
milk
Wait.
is easy to get and affordable, no?
So before we
Yes,
You can
yes,
tackle
find
all
it
of
it
is
this
in
free to get
grocery
and
shop.
ridiculousness,
affordable.
so before we tackle all of this ridiculousness, we have to tackle first whether it's necessary or not. Not what would you do otherwise, right? You can get calories from other sources. My question to you, is it necessary?
But
Is
it
it
is a
necessary?
hard.
It's not if it's a habit. I'm asking if it's necessary.
In my house, there is milk
Is
and
it
nothing
necessary
than that.
for is it
Okay.
necessary
So
for
it is
you to
necessary
put
for
that
me.
milk in
It
your
is
mouth
necessary
hole?
for me to drink that milk.
Is it necessary for you to drink milk?
Yes.
Is it necessary? I'm asking you, boy. Is it necessary to wear luxurious clothes? You can
Listen,
wear
this
old
isn't the
clothes, no? Why
question.
you are
This isn't the
buying?
question.
Why
Smiley,
you are buying the new clothes?
Carlo, we're not talking to you.
You,
Smiley, I was talking to you. So is it necessary to drink milk?
Yes, for me, yes.
What would happen if you don't drink milk? If it's necessary, tell me what would happen if you don't drink milk.
we get
It
skinny.
will not happen even if I do not eat. I will just die in 2 or 3 months.
So if you don't drink milk,
Yes.
you will die in 2 or 3 months.
Yes.
Even if I do not eat
Okay.
anything, I will die in 2 or 3
I
months.
didn't say
Why
anything.
am I
I
eating?
said milk specifically, okay? Because you said milk. So let me see.
Yes.
Let me get this straight. If you all of the sudden had developed an allergy for milk and you can no longer drink
Uh-huh.
milk, you will die.
Okay. So then I will find other options.
No,
But
answer
then
the
I have to do
question.
hard work for that.
Okay, so you
Before
can
you
find
go
other
on,
options.
answer the question.
But
So you,
it's hard to get.
wait, so you
Will
can find
you
other
or will
options.
you not die if you don't drink milk?
Yes. So if take milk, he won't die. Physically, he drink
Actually,
milk.
actually
And
that
Everybody
about
be
it.
quiet.
cheap
Please
guy
let Smiley
is
answer.
making
Kalu, be
cheap guy
quiet.
is making.
Carlo,
This
we're
is
not
my
Why you
last
are
asking
giving?
warning. Be quiet. We're talking to Smiley. Be quiet, or I'm gonna ban you for 24 hours. And you don't want that.
Do whatever you want, bro. I don't care. Go fuck off. You fucking
Okay.
quiet.
Then you can just leave. Thank you.
Arey,
Okay, so Smiley, tell us, is it necessary for you to drink milk? We come back to the same thing. You said
Actually, here we
ask
don't have
it.
any right to ask anything. We are only here
Kalu,
to
Kalu,
hear things. Go fuck off.
Kalu,
Fuck you, girl.
we
Fuck
asked
you
you.
you
ban
like
him.
Fuck,
10,000
fuck,
times. Stop.
fuck you off.
Just
You
ban
go
him.
ahead. You asshole.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so Smiley, we come back to you.
Now you are on same question. Is it necessary for me to drink milk?
Yeah, and we are not gonna get away from this until you respond to the
Okay,
until you reply to the question.
I told you. I think I have answered this question 2 or 3 times. Yes.
So you say
No,
it's
no, no,
yes.
no. Hold on, Smiley. The answer that you gave us is if I stop eating everything, then I will die within 2 or 3 days. First of all, factually
Months.
incorrect. People can live
Months.
months. X also factually incorrect. It's about 21 days without food that you will
अरे यार
die.
तुम तो बड़े बेवकूफ आदमी हो यार मतलब listen to me.
Smiley, shut the fuck up. So you changed the question
I'm not
to
fucking
answer
anyone.
it in this way. Shut up for a second. You are changing the question to answer it. You are not answering the actual question.
I answered it.
The
Yes.
question.
It is
hold on. The
necessary for me to drink
question-
milk. Now you are
hold
changing
on.
the topic.
Hold on.
What kind
The
of leader you
question-
are?
Be quiet. Be quiet for a second. The question that Chip is asking, if you continue eating food, but you just stop drinking milk and replace it with other food, replace the calories with other food, will you die?
Can I develop my body with that?
Yes.
Oh, I want to see your physique, brother.
No. So wait. So wait. Assume. So you wait. Because we yet again you have dodged the question similarly just by asking, can I develop my body? The question is, if you continue eating food, all the food that you normally eat, but you don't drink milk, you replace those calories with other calories.
Even
Will
if I eat
you
only
survive
poop of other
and thrive?
animals, I can survive. I can survive if I only eat poop of other animals. Okay, but should I eat it? You tell me. Will you, to protect other animals, will you do it?
So your agreement that you don't need milk, correct? You agree that you don't need milk, right? Based on
Arey
the
yaar,
question that you answered, you do not need
brother,
milk.
okay. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
No, I do
Will
not
you
understand what
eat
you're
it?
saying because you are not replying to my questions, and I'm just continuing down the same train of thought until you respond to my
What type of
questions.
questions you are asking? It's like, are you CIA agent? You are asking like, I have no other option to agree.
So what I'm
Yeah,
asking,
please mute yourself.
yeah, so what I'm asking is because you made the statement. Let me be clear. You made the statement. You said if it's not necessary, it is wrong. You said if it's not necessary to harm animals, to exploit animals, then it is wrong to do so. I asked you, is it necessary for you to consume milk? You have dodged the question 35 times.
Yes,
And
I am saying yes.
well, you can say whatever you want because that is not factually true. It is not necessary for you to drink milk. I'm a certified nutritionist. There's plenty of empirical evidence out there that milk does not provide anything special that you can't get from any other plant-based products. So no, it is not necessary for you to consume milk. So therefore, you are in contradiction with your own values because you are participating in animal exploitation that is not necessary for you.
No, and अरे यार ये क्या है? हद है भाई. एक listen to me first. Okay, you are a nutritionist, right?
Sure.
Yes.
So you agree that if we do not eat much, if we eat only one chapati a day, we can survive.
If you eat only what?
If we eat only, okay, in your language, if we eat only one bread, we can survive.
I don't mean survive, I mean thrive.
Africans are survive too. Africans are surviving too. Yes, Africans are
said
surviving
thrive.
too. I can
No, they're
also
literally
survive.
fucking dying.
I did not say survive.
No,
I
they are
said
surviving.
thrive.
They are dying, surviving.
I said thrive. Do you know what the difference between surviving and thriving is?
Little.
So surviving means you can barely make it, right? As you said, you can survive on very little. When I say thrive means as being as healthy as you can be. You can be as healthy as you can be on a plant-based diet. Therefore, any animal product that you have is optional to you. Whether you want to believe that or not is strictly up to you, whether you want to reject that scientific fact or not. But it is a scientific fact.
The scientific, you are saying that scientific fact is that I can live without milk, right?
Yeah.
And so what would I eat if I leave the milk? Can you please suggest me some foods which can take the place of milk in my diet?
You can have
And
plant-based
are
milk to
affordable
begin
too and
with.
are what?
There you go. Plant-based milk is the beginning of it. You can just replace it and you may have absolutely no difference.
Plant-based milk?
Yeah.
That's very expensive. What if you cannot afford it?
I never heard it of. And what? How
You
they
never
give?
heard of- you never heard
They
of
do
it because
breeding,
it's expensive.
breastfeeding. They do. I didn't understand.
So you don't. First of all, you don't need to get calories from drinks, right? You can get calories from any other sources. If you can't afford
by
one
minerals,
thing, you can afford another. And
proteins,
I'm not here.
these
And
are-
I'm not. By the way, I'm not here to give you a consultation on how to make your diet work. All I'm here telling you is that you can
You are a
make your
nutritionist.
diet work on a plant-based diet. If you need help with that, we can help you with that. We can give you resources to
I'm
help you with
asking you.
that. But the question here is, if you find out that you don't need any animal product, which you don't, and you find a way to make it work within your budget, then do you see it within your obligation to stop oppressing animals?
Okay, just give me a diet plan under 20 rupees. Okay, I eat under 15 rupees or 20 rupees a day. Okay, I this is the, I think, whole you can say
Just
whole
a
food
question, please.
expenses I expense in a day. Okay,
What?
I think that 10 rupee kilo tori, 20 rupee kilo
What is
ghiya.
wrong about milk? So he didn't.
So I can explain what happens to milk if you want, but before we do that, Smale, I think this conversation is over because you are not being intellectually honest. I think if you really want to know how to maintain a proper diet, Challenge 22, they hook you up with a nutritionist and send you recipes every day. They help you go vegan for free. When you are ready to be intellectually honest with you and you are ready to follow your own values, consult Challenge 22. They will help you out. Until then, please be aware that you are supporting needless animal exploitation, which goes against your own values, as you just stated before.
You are soft-hearted person. How can I be against you? You are very cute.
Sure. Now let's move
I
on.
have many.
Let's move on. Hex, what were you saying?
Oh,
I was saying when you advise him on the plant-based milk, I said it's very expensive. He cannot afford it.
Yeah.
can you say it loud?
I am loud.
So
No,
if you
you are
can't
not
afford,
loud.
so Hex, if you can't afford plant-based milk, don't drink plant-based milk. Drink something else. Doesn't matter.
What if
Simple.
what if he loves milk?
Drink some milk.
Doesn't matter
No,
if
what
you
if he
love
loves
milk.
milk?
But behind milk, let me explain what happens behind milk, because a lot of people don't really know, and it's kind of interesting, and it's the reason why I went vegan in the first place. Do you know why cows produce milk biologically, Hex?
Because they do.
No. So if I were to ask you, when does a woman produce milk? When do they produce milk?
All right, so
Baby.
you're saying it has something to do with like giving birth.
Hyposmartin.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they have to give birth, exactly, right? So they have to have a baby,
Where
right?
are you from?
All right.
So do you think that farmers wait for them to get pregnant on their own, or do you think they forcefully inseminate them?
How can they produce milk if they cannot actually produce milk?
Say that again.
How can they produce milk if they cannot actually produce milk?
For their babies.
They only
They
produce
produce
milk
milk
No.
for their babies.
when they have babies.
No. Yeah, but how can they produce milk if they don't have babies?
They can't.
Then how are the farmers getting the milk?
Because farmers forcefully inseminate them. They make them pregnant, and then when the babies are born, what do you think happens to the babies?
Wait, you
Even
say
when they are sorry,
wait,
hold on,
you're
Hex. Hold on,
saying
hold
they
on.
force it?
I just want to fix one issue. So even when they are not forcefully impregnated, they are impregnated in the quote-unquote natural way. It's still incredibly programmed, and for the benefit of the farmer, and not the benefit for the animals.
Exactly.
The benefit of the farmer. By the farmer, you mean the humans on this planet?
Yeah.
No, the farmer, not the humans on this planet, because it
Oh,
doesn't
it doesn't.
benefit the humans.
It doesn't benefit the humans at all that we drink milk. It's to incredible detriment of the human beings.
But before we
I'm
go
saying-
down that route, how is it detrimental to humans? Do you understand the
Yeah.
fact that we control the breeding process of these cows and that we make them have babies, whether it's through forceful insemination or whether it's keeping them away from a bull and then keep putting them together?
But I don't think that affect them at all.
Okay, so but you understand that that's the first step in it. When the babies are born, do you think that the babies stay with their mother and drink their milk, or do you think that the farmers separate them so that they get their milk?
It's not. It depends. I think it depends on the farmer or the place.
No, it doesn't.
No,
Everywhere.
I think in the small
everywhere.
farms in India. Let me explain to you. In small farms in India or the Middle East, like when a farmer have 1 or 2 cows, they keep the herd together. They keep the mother and the babies together. They
Well,
do not separate them.
Well, first of all,
I've
that's-
seen that firsthand.
Well, you have seen a farm, and you have not seen that in particular.
It's not actually a farm. It's like a farmer that have 1 or 2 cows.
Yeah,
You
so
know what I mean?
how do you logically explain the fact that the farmer has 1 or 2 cows, yet the cows continuously produce milk? Where are those babies that keep being born?
He keeps them for maybe 6 to 9 months, and then he sells them afterwards. Is that how it works?
Exactly. So he keeps them for a while, right? Yeah, and indeed, on some farms, the baby doesn't get separated from the mother directly at birth, but on all farms they
talking
get
about
separated.
small-scale farm.
Even
I'm
on
talking about
small-scale
small-scale
farms,
farms, huh?
listen, even on small-scale farms, babies get separated from their mothers. Regardless, it's either at the beginning at birth or later, but they always get separated because
But
if they stay
later-
with their mothers, they would drink the milk, and the milk, the only reason why farmers bred them is to get their milk.
But later they're not babies anymore.
No, they are. A lot of the times they separate them. You think they separate them after a couple of months. They separate them after a couple of weeks. First of all, when they don't separate them directly, and third, let's just imagine they even stay with their mothers. That's not even the most ridiculous part. But if those babies are born male, they don't produce any milk. So what do you think farmers do to them?
They keep them until they're like a grown veal, and then they sell them for their meat.
There you go. So they kill them eventually, right? At a fraction of their lifespan, and then if they're born female, what do you think happens to them?
I think they grow them up to replace the mothers because the mothers are getting old.
Yeah, exactly. Every year, they do the same thing that they did to their mothers. They
It's a
impregnate
cycle.
them. They take their babies. They exploit them for their milk, and at some point, they kill them. Do you know when they kill them?
No, but I don't understand. I still don't understand like what is wrong with the cycle.
Well, I let me finish, and then we'll discuss. Do you know when they kill the dairy cows
I
that
don't know. I
produce
have no
milk?
idea. I don't
So-
know. Around maybe a year or 2 years, maybe. I don't know.
No, so they kill them around the age of 6 to 8. Cows can live 24, 25 years, so about
Oh,
a
okay.
third of their natural lifespan. And they kill them when they can no longer get them pregnant. So that means they try to get them pregnant. If it doesn't stick, they kill them. And you're asking me what is wrong with everything that we just discussed. So let me ask you this. If we did this whole thing in the context of any other sentient being, let's put a dog there. If we bred dogs specifically, like we sexually exploited dogs, we took away their babies, then we took away their milk and killed everybody in that lineage just so that we can get that milk. Would that be moral to you?
But it might not be moral to me, but it might be moral for other people because in some cultures they do eat dogs.
So it is not moral to you. Okay, well, let's discuss your point of view, not others. Okay, so it is not moral to
But
you.
I'm saying some people eat dogs. Let's just agree that some people do eat dogs.
We agree
Yeah,
that's
we
just
know
like-
about this. Well, we're talking about your morality, not
Yeah.
other people's morality, you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So you,
People
in
eat
your
horses as
worldview,
well.
okay, so in your worldview, it's wrong to do this to dogs, but it's okay to do this to cows?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not moral. All right, let me explain this again.
So it's
So,
not
for
moral
example,
to
the
do
people.
to dogs.
No. For the people who are eating the dog.
No, for
from my
you. Stop
understanding-
with other people. For you.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, they're all animals. I don't know if there is no need to do it, then I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. So there is no need for you to eat other animal products as well, not just dogs. So you shouldn't do it, right?
Wait, I don't eat dogs.
No, you said that if it's not needed, then it becomes immoral, right?
Not only immoral, it becomes I don't know, useless. Like, why would I kill something? if
Exactly.
I not?
So you don't need to eat animal products at all. You can be plant-based. You can be vegan and not eat any animal products and survive and thrive and be happy and all that shit. So
But
it
not-
makes it
not
immoral to
everyone.
eat other animal products too, right?
But not everyone can be vegan for different reasons.
But
Sorry,
you
can
can.
we
Whether
talk to
it's-
you, please, and not other people? Can we talk to you?
Sure.
Yeah, go on, Chip.
Maybe I can't afford like a plant-based diet, for
Wait.
example.
So
If-
can we not talk in maybes, but in actualities? Can you afford a plant-based diet?
No.
So if we
Sorry,
give
what
you
is in plant-based diet can you not afford?
I'm sorry.
Can you afford a plant-based diet, Hex?
I can afford it.
Yeah. So
So
it
if you-
becomes immoral for you to not be plant-based.
Exactly.
No, but I like my cereals with milk.
Yeah, but
not being
remember when you
sarcastic, I'm
said
being
that
honest.
it would be. But remember when you said that it would be immoral to kill dogs if you don't have to for food.
I said if I don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
said need,
exactly.
but-
So you don't need to eat animal products. So it's immoral for you to eat animal products because you can afford to be plant-based. And therefore it becomes a moral obligation for you to not pay for exploitation and murder of animals anymore. Right? According
No,
to
but I
your
said-
logic, not mine.
No, but according to my logic, I said if there is no need, but I do need the milk.
No,
What do you
no.
need in milk? Yeah, go on, Chip. Sorry.
Yeah, so
I-
by
I
the
like-
way, let's be clear on a second. Need
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I want it with my cereal, therefore I need it. Need means that if I don't have it, I will die or not be healthy.
All right, let's not argue on the word. All right, let's not use need. I want the milk. How about
There
that?
you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you saying that. You want the milk. So do you think that
Sure.
because you want the milk, then that morally justifies cows, everything that we just discussed that happens to cows, do you think is morally justified just because you want some milk in the morning?
Does that justify it?
Yeah, like according to your own view, is it if you think within your mind right now, is it okay to impregnate cows, take their babies, take their milk, kill everybody in that lineage, also that you can have some milk in the morning? Some animal milk, because you can always have a plant-based milk.
For example. Also for me, I'll say for me, I'll speak for me because you guys want me to speak about my experience.
Yeah.
So for example, when I was born, my mother was not able to produce milk for me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I lived on formulas and
So how does
cow
that
milk.
answer a question? Can you please
That's the need.
yeah.
That
So
some
are
people
we
do
talking
need
about
milk.
like now, not when your mother had
No,
you?
I'm
No,
talking
no.
about I'm
So
talking about me.
yeah,
About
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We're
me,
talking
my
about you
experience.
now,
When you were
though. We're
using
talking
when you were
now.
using
Yes.
baby formula, you that was a need. You had no other option, right?
Not
But
only
now
that,
you're a big man, right?
my family was not able to afford the formula or like on daily basis or like monthly
Yeah.
basis. So
So
they
you
would
said you
substitute with
can.
other milk.
So you said for yourself today you can afford to be plant-based. Yes.
Yeah.
But what if I got married and like my wife is not able to produce milk?
Well, then you
would
give us a
still
ring
be able
then.
to
You give us
afford
a
like
ring
a
then, and we'll
plant-based
help you.
formula.
You'll ship some
You
cow milk for me?
No,
You
no,
I'm not
would
no.
being
still be able to
sarcastic. I'm
afford
being
like a
honest here. This is
plant-based
an honest
formula.
argument.
Wait, Hex,
You would
Hex.
still be able to afford a plant-based formula. Yes.
Yeah, you would still be able to afford a plant-based formula, first of all, as VPM says. But second, let's put it this way. If
Sorry,
I
as who says?
so if I were on a deserted island and I may not have enough food to eat at my disposal, but there is a human being there, do you agree that if I was in that situation, I might resort to killing and cannibalizing?
This is not a hypothetical thing. This actually happened.
Okay, so you
numerous
agree
times
that in situations,
history.
yeah, so in situations like that, you might end up doing horrific things, correct?
No, I don't actually agree with that. But I said it happened. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it myself.
The question is, if there is a need for something in one situation, you could one way or another try to justify doing something bad. But
Well,
in a
it's-
day-to-day
it's-
life, in your day-to-day life right now, in the morning, you are paying for animals to be exploited and slaughtered, and there is no need for it. It's just because you want it. So how is that
But-
morally justified?
It's not the same as oranges and apples. It's human life. It's not equal to a
I
cow's
did not
life.
say that they are. I just explained to you that you can do a bad
No,
thing
you made a
in
comparison.
situations
You made
when
a comparison
yeah.
when you said cannibalism.
The comparison was the fact that
It's
I was
invalid.
doing the comparison was the fact that I was doing something bad, whatever that bad thing is,
No, it's
because I
oranges and
needed to
apples.
do
It's
it.
not the same.
Because I
not the
needed to
same.
do it. My question to you is, how can you morally justify doing something bad when you don't need to do it?
No, let's just agree that it's invalid.
I don't
Comparison.
care. It's invalid. Please answer my question. How can you morally justify doing something
Why
bad
are
when
you
you don't
getting?
need to?
Why are you getting hostile?
Because you
right
keep
now?
derailing it. I need
I'm
you
not
to answer the
derailing.
question. Yes,
When
you
said
are.
when you confronted me about the word need and want, I said okay, let's not use need, and I said want. Now when I'm confronting you about invalid argument, you're getting hostile.
Okay, my argument is invalid. Now can we move on?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so how can you morally justify doing something bad when you don't need to, but you want to?
There's a scale, I think, a moral scale. If I see if I need to do it or not.
So are you saying,
If it's
wait,
gonna
are
harm
you,
someone or not.
so wait, are you saying
You
now
use the
that
word need again.
Yeah, are you saying that
If I
exploiting...
want to do it or not, let's use want. Fine.
So are
But
you
in
saying
some cases,
it's
I do
okay to
need-
exploit animals if you want to?
Not in some cases. In some cases, maybe I cannot afford a protein-based diet, for example.
But then it becomes a need. If it becomes you're introducing the need factor, right? If you can't afford it, it becomes a need. If it's not a need, then it's just you doing
And
it
you
for an
already said
arbitrary
that that's
reason.
not your situation. So
Yeah,
Well,
you're
maybe
just
I
moving the
maybe I am
goalposts.
right. Maybe I am now like
Maybe you're now
Portion-
reconsidering if
portion-
you can afford a plant-based diet all of a sudden
I've
because you
actually,
got
I've actually
cornered, right?
tried it. I've actually tried it.
Yeah.
I've
Uh-huh.
actually tried it.
Now
Not because
you've
of-
already been vegan for years. Tell us that you've already
Hey,
been vegan
because I
before.
want to,
not
That's such
Because
a
I want to.
ridiculous
Just be
thing.
lucky. Just be lucky I'm not eating human beings, bro. Just be lucky I'm not eating your dumb ass, bro.
Oh yeah, sure.
Bacon tastes good. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Bro, don't interrupt.
I
You're
don't,
gonna
I
get
don't, I
kicked.
don't, I don't eat bacon,
Yeah,
and I
so-
don't
so-
appreciate
so-
your language.
So Hex, let me put it this way, Hex. If you found it if we give you resources to help you stay within your diet, within your budget, and adopt a plant-based diet that makes you healthy and within your
It's-
budget, would you
it's
see
not
it as
only
a
the
moral?
financial
Let
aspect.
me finish.
No, I just told you I'm fortunate right now. I can afford it, but it's not the financial aspect. I've tried it for a month.
Okay, so if we can help you be healthy and within your budget, that's what I said. Do you see it as a moral obligation for you to stop exploiting innocent animals?
Exploiting.
Yes.
So what would happen to the cows now?
That's not the question.
So
we
they-
can go down that
Wait,
route.
no, let's.
We can go down that route.
Yeah,
Please
I
explain.
just
wouldn't-
want you to
No,
know.
I need to understand. No, I need to understand the whole, like the whole cycle, the full image.
We
like, what
can
would
go
happen to
down
the
that
cows
route.
now?
No, we can go down that route. What my question
So let's
is,
go.
if you're in a situation, again, where you don't need to exploit animals, you do it out of want. So we're here telling you that we'll help you not exploit any animals. We'll help you get your plant-based diet or whatever it is that you need. Are you still going to continue exploiting animals?
Maybe for the taste. I love burgers, to be honest.
So there you go. It doesn't really, all of those other things just fall flat on their ass, don't they? Because all of those are just
Yeah,
justifications, aren't they?
Why
What
you
happened to your
guys
moral
are like being
principles?
hostile and resort to insult?
Yeah, well, we are being
I
hostile
didn't- I
when
didn't say
somebody
any
is
bad
being
word.
violent towards
Well,
innocent animals. I
okay.
think hostileness is a little bit justified, don't you think so?
But name calling is never justified in a civil conversation.
I don't think
Nobody
he name
name
called
called
you or insulted
Yeah,
you.
yeah, we
No,
said you are
you
being
and the
violent.
other guy. You and
You-
the other guy.
Yeah, sure,
Sorry,
sure.
what do
I
you
don't know
think
what's
is
his name.
more? What do you think is worse, like being a little bit hostile in a conversation or paying for exploitation and literal throat slitting of sentient animals?
I don't mind the hostility, but I mind the name calling because that's
No one,
Yeah,
no one
what do
name
you
called.
think is
There's no
worse,
need for it.
calling somebody a name or literally
name called
slitting
you.
somebody's throat?
Wait, no, pause more. Like, let's not even try. Like,
Somebody.
no one name called you.
Yeah, no one name
Yeah.
called you.
No, there was one guy here. I don't know. He said ass or said something. I
Look,
don't
we're having a
really
discussion with you right now. You're changing the topic, right? Look,
I'm
you
not
keep
changing any
at the
topic.
start. You were like, you seem to have moral integrity, right? You said no, I wouldn't do that. It's not like
Of
moral,
course.
right? You said
Yeah,
if
of
it's
course I
not a
wouldn't.
need. Okay, but now we've defaulted, right? We found out that like you don't have a moral principle, right? There's no moral
Martin.
backbone. It's just taste, right? You
Yeah.
just
Only
care
taste.
about taste,
Martin.
right?
No.
Yeah, and you
It's
know
not
what,
only
Hex?
taste.
What is it
Sure.
then?
Hello, postmortem.
What is it,
I
Hex,
told
if
you
it's not
many,
taste?
I told you it's many aspects. Not only the financial aspect is not part of the equation, at least for me right now.
What
but there
other
are many
aspects are
aspects.
there? We address the financial and health aspect of it.
Taste is one of them. Convenient is another one. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like I do need like protein-based diet, like animal diet. I don't know why you call it, but
You
I
can
feel
get
like I
protein
do
from
need.
plants, can't you? So as I said,
I'm
health-wise,
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna give me the same benefits.
yeah. So
yeah,
health,
so if we show you that you can get the same benefits, are you going to change your mind?
yeah.
If it's not gonna affect me in any other way, sure, why not?
All right, so I'm sharing my screen and
Wait, before that, what
yeah.
would convince you? Let's ask, because we have empirical evidence, but what would convince you?
What would convince me?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if you just care about taste, it doesn't matter if we show you it's healthy or not.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I'm not heavy on that, dude. I don't like drink milk every
You're not
day or
addicted to
eat
meat.
meat
That's
every
great.
day.
Yeah, that's great.
I actually prefer not to eat meat. Maybe once.
Well,
a
then
week or something.
it should be easier for you to go vegan then.
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
tried for a month.
That's
And what was the
amazing.
problem?
Tell me about that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Many problems for I
Yeah, like what?
mentioned the taste, but the taste it's okay. It goes away after a while. I mean the craving, but anyway, forget the taste. I
yeah,
quit
the
smoking
craving.
so I can quit meat.
The craving can
No, it's
what's it
okay. I
called? You
quit
could like
smoking so I can quit the meat, but the other thing is also convenient. Like sometimes you're
Mhm.
not be able to find all the things that you need to maintain that plant-based diet.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Not
So
everyone
even
lives in the West. Do you know what I mean?
Like what? What did you have a problem with? Can you
I
please
don't
be
know,
specific though,
like
Hex? Can you,
milk
like,
substitutes, for example.
yeah, do you think you need meat substitutes in order
No, I said
to
milk. I said
be
milk. I said
milk?
milk.
Do you think you need milk substitutes, or can you just like get away with not using milk at all?
All right. So now I'm giving up my cereal and my coffee.
No, you don't have to. Oh my god.
I'm
You
being
don't have to
honest.
give them
Like,
up.
No,
So you-
like, can I just, because I feel like this
Yeah.
discussion will not go anywhere. Like, we're trying to be
Why?
patient with you. We're trying to explain you all the things, but you just keep coming up with excuses. So it just boils
someone
down to
said-
the same thing. Hex, it just boils down to the same thing. Do you have a spine enough to stand up for what is right or wrong, simply for you to make a right choice? So if you say you have a spine, then how do you keep coming up with excuses for doing the wrong thing when we keep bringing you and telling you we'll help you do the right thing? Like, we are trying to help you do the right thing, and you are trying to say no, but I want to do the wrong thing.
I didn't say that I want to do the wrong thing.
Then please make an effort.
There's an art
I
of
can make an
persuasion.
effort, but I told you like
Yeah,
some
guys,
things maybe
let's
are not available where I live, for
Okay,
example.
sure. I think what the chip guy and what Postmom are saying is like, even though it's difficult and it's hard, it still never ultimately justifies like, you know, animal slaughter and animal abuse, right? Now, there are solutions to it as well, but I think it's important to justify, like, even no matter how difficult it gets, it's never, you know, to the point where it's justifiable to what you would inflict or you'd be paying to inflict to animals, right? That's the point they're trying to get across. And because you haven't like openly acknowledged that, that's why they keep bringing it back.
All right.
Do you
I
get what I'm trying to
understand your
say?
point. Yeah, I understand
Yeah.
you.
Okay, and that's great, right? And like, look, I'm gonna admit, like, look, if you can't find a milk substitute, it can be harder, right? And you said several things, right? Just for anyone else in chat, right? You mentioned cravings. You don't have an issue with that, but that as well, as you said, it can subside, or you could just counteract that with good meat-based products. The other thing was convenience. Now, I think all vegans have to be honest, right? We live in a non-vegan world, and we have to realize that we are like fighting against the current. But that being said, it's super easy once you get used to it. It's just that starting bit, right? It's only inconvenient at the start. Once you figure it out, it's really like you're living as you do every other day, like maybe a month, maybe a week after, if you're already smart about it, right? So these are concerns that are valid, but they aren't justified, right? They fall apart, especially if you do your research, if you have help, right? Like, we're telling you we want to help you, right? We will make it easy for you. We'll make it convenient for you. If you struggle with like milk alternatives, we can like help you out with that, right? And we will. And there are options, right? Like, there are alternatives in your area. We can find other vegans that can help you out. But the point is, there is no point in doing all of this if you don't recognize why you should be doing this in the first place, right? Do you recognize that you should be trying to go vegan because of the animal exploitation it causes?
Only
That's
because
the
of the
main
animal
point.
exploitation.
Well, the animal exploitation and
You know,
abuse,
you know
right?
why? You know why I tried to be a vegan for a month. It was because of a Netflix movie about like that meat is not good for you.
Yeah.
Not sure if you're aware of that
There are many
movie.
great
I saw the
documentaries.
movie.
Yeah. Cowspiracy.
Yeah, I was saying like meat is not actually good for you. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
And plant-based diet is much better.
Well, there are health benefits as well, right? But like,
I'm
you didn't
not.
answer my question, right? Do you understand the ethical point that we're coming from?
I don't approve any animal abuse, of course.
That's brilliant. That's amazing. That's exactly what I want to hear, right? And so you recognize that when you pay for these kind of products, animal abuse is taking place.
Maybe in most cases, I would say yes.
Well, so even in the places where it's like better welfare, it's still exploitation, right? It's still you're like exploiting the animals, you're killing them off like a fraction of their lifespan, you're separating mothers from their babies. It's still abuse and exploitation.
I agree with
Like, even in the
the
best
word exploitation, but abuse, I'm not really sure. Abuse.
Fine, yeah, fine, okay. Well, exploitation still occurs, and
yes.
yeah, and we like. Do you agree that like for the most cases, right? Like, you should be moving away. You shouldn't be paying for these products then.
Sure. Why not?
Okay, that's great. Like this is what we're trying to get, right? Now, if as Chip said several times, right? If we showed you resources, if we offered you aid, would you consider trying veganism then?
I can try it again, sure, no problem. Why not?
Of course, that's what I want to hear, right? And I actually think you're being very honest, and like, thank you for hearing me out.
I am sure.
I do
I
actually
don't
want.
wanna waste my time or your time, guys. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
No, I appreciate that. Hell yeah, bro. That's exactly what we want here, right? Respectful conversations, and where we both try and learn each other. Tell me about your time when you went vegan last time, right? Tell me how that went. Like, be as detailed as you can, right? Like,
So I'm not fully. I don't know if it's so you have vegan and vegetarian, right? So it's
Mhm.
I think it's totally different terms. So
Yeah, of
first
course,
step,
yeah,
I give out like I give up on like all meats. You know what I mean? Like
okay. Mhm.
cow, chicken, whatever it is.
Yeah, and how was that? Like, was that? Tell me about like how you used to eat before.
It was fine for me. Like
Oh, amazing.
I tried like natural other things. I don't know, like beans or whatever, like some
Mhm.
things like that.
Hell yeah, bro. We don't
And
meet a lot of
then
people who are proactive and like are smart about it, right? Some people like it's already like the hardest step is getting them to convince, and then the next step like following through and doing it effectively so that it's healthy and they know where to start. Seems like you have had a great start at that end.
yeah, and then I think by the second week, I
Mhm.
give up milk. Like
Okay, yeah.
I stopped the milk and eggs as well.
Hmm. So you went
So
vegetarian and then you went vegan a week after. Cool.
2 weeks after, yeah.
2 weeks after. Okay.
I tried like different types of milk, like I don't like almond milk and other things. That was like three or 4
Boo!
years ago.
I'm oat milk gang. Some people here are like almond milk. I'm oat milk and soy gang.
I think I've tried that as well.
Soy milk, by
Yeah,
the
what do you
way.
think? Well, it's got more
I don't
protein.
know. I had mixed feelings because I've
Yeah?
tried it from different brands. You know what I mean? Because not everything is
Exactly.
available here. Like whenever I go to
Yeah.
like the supermarket, it's not always
Yeah,
there.
and even
There's like a very
the
tiny
different
section.
brands,
Yeah,
even the different
there's
brands
not
make
even a
it.
big section. Yeah, there's not even a big section for like vegetarians or vegans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Can I ask what parts? Where are you from?
I've been living all over, but right now I live in the Middle East.
Okay, cool. Nice.
I've been here for like 2 years or 3 years.
Oh yeah. And so, is that something you struggle with then, like the milk?
Not only that, but I don't know why I stopped actually. Like I tried it for a month and then or maybe
Well,
6 weeks tops.
no worries. Yeah, like this is don't beat yourself up on it, right? These changing yourself is hard, right? Like this is a whole new lifestyle. People struggle to do exercise, and even they know why exercise is so important, but they still don't manage to do it. I think one of the main reason is just like not knowing or not learning like how to go about it, and secondly is forgetting why you did this in the first place, right? Remembering like you're not doing this for yourself; it's for the victims, right? Reminding yourself what happens when you pay for these products, and being aware of that. So it's a combination of those things, right? But if you do it again, and if you do it with help, if you do it with other people who are trying it out as well, I guarantee you will go vegan, right? Like if you are going about it and like other people are also trying it out, you have that sense of community, then you will last much longer and you will benefit
I
from it
have
as
to
well.
speak. I have to speak to my partner about that because I have a partner
Oh,
now.
okay, yeah.
Maybe she will not be. We'll see.
Is it so? What does cooking for you look like? Is it like she makes the meal for both of you?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And she is a avid meat eater. Is that the case?
Not have it. We're not really big on meat, but yeah, maybe once a week because we came to conclusion that it's not actually healthy to eat like meat every day. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, that's brilliant that you and your partner already recognize this. Was your partner as well like doing this journey with you when you tried to go vegan?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Part of it.
And
Like I started by myself, but I think by the
Mhm.
second week she joined.
Okay. And how was it for her?
It was fine, but there was the cravings, like milk,
Yeah.
once we cut the milk, you know what I mean? She's big on sweets, Once we cut the
Mm.
milk, it
Oh
was
yeah,
really
Middle
hard for her.
Eastern. Yeah, I struggle
Yeah.
with that as well. No, like absolutely. In fact, I think when I tried to go vegan for the first time, that's the only time I kind of faltered because I was really craving meat, right? Luckily I didn't, because I just managed to hold off and remind myself why. But it's tough, and like I remember being in that situation. Like cravings are real, but you just have to bear through them. And like once you do, you look back and you laugh, and you'll be glad that you push through. And it gets easier, right? It gets easier if you find vegan stuff, right?
Yeah,
If there
bro.
are vegan sweets.
Yeah, so Hex,
Yeah.
are you the type of person who does the wrong thing because it's easier, or are you the type of person who does the right thing even if it's a little bit more difficult?
No, I'll do the right thing, of course, but I told you, like, I don't feel like getting the milk is wrong. Maybe I need to do some more research, but I just
So what if you watch the video, like not that actually shows and explains all the practices, because that's what we all did,
But-
right? Would that
But most of these things are happening like in big farms on the west. I saw some videos, but that what happens on the west, like where I
No.
live, like they don't have farms like that. They don't have like this systematic like animal abuse.
Yeah, so
Like I
so
saw in the
Hex,
videos.
I come from Romania. I have seen
Yeah.
everything that I just described to you. I have seen it in my grandmother's backyard. It happens all the time, even on small farms, large farms. I talk to plenty of farmers. I have been on biological farms, free range farms, and small farms. Everywhere, it's a variation of what we discussed. It's a
Yeah, I think
variation.
the term is free range farm. Yeah, that's what
Yeah, so
they
the
have where I live at least.
yeah, so everywhere you go, it's a variation of the same exploitation and slaughter of animals. And if you want like a simple exercise for you to realize that it is happening, you can simply look at a farm, like a dairy farm, for instance, because that's your issue with milk, and you will notice that there's only females. It's simple. Why? There should be at least as many men as there are women. It's it's statistically, it's how it should be, right? Like if there's only female cows, then what happened to the male cows? It's because they get killed.
I know what you mean. They get them pregnant like on demand or like
Yeah.
whenever they want. They want them to get pregnant like all the time without control.
And is that not
I
messed
think that
up in the
happens
first
in
place?
I think that happens like in most like animal farms or breeding farms, not only like cows or even if someone is like breeding dogs, which is I don't know. I know what you mean.
Is it not messed up to breed animals like that so that you can get the like if you talk to a farmer, by the way, but because you said you know some farmers, you will realize that farmers, the fact that cows have to be pregnant is actually quite a nuisance. It's quite annoying to farmers because they don't want to do all that stuff. They only do it because you pay them so that you get the milk.
But some people would argue that this is like the purpose of the cow, for example.
But that's not the purpose of the cow. Like if I were to say that the purpose of you is for me to use you in a certain way, is that fair towards you for me to decide your purpose? If I had power over you and I could decide your purpose, would it be fair for me to decide your purpose?
Like you're a god, for example.
Well, not if I'm God. If I just am simply an individual who has power over you.
Well, I can give a real life analogy, right? There was this person in America who chained a mother, made her pregnant, and kept her and her daughters chained for years, and he would rape them. And he made them pregnant too for the sole purpose of just abusing them. And that's a human example. This isn't animals, all right? Some people will breed animals to torture them or to like make them fight to the death, right? Dog fighting. Just because we breed them for a certain purpose that we have in mind and they can't fight about it, does that mean it's right?
Okay, so of course I don't agree with like any
Yeah.
animal abuse or like the dog fighting, as you mentioned. I don't agree
Well,
with
so
all
this
that.
is still exploitation, right? Like,
Yeah, but still in the back of my head, like still I have that thought that maybe like that's the purpose of the cow. But if it was done like in a, I don't know, less abusive way.
But let me ask you this,
I don't know how
because
to explain it.
yeah, heck, so you seem to think like that's their purpose, but let's imagine. Do you know koalas? Have you heard of this animal, koalas?
Yeah, of course.
So if you were to go somewhere on this planet, I don't know, maybe you come to the Netherlands. I live in the Netherlands, and here
Sure.
they have koala farms instead of cow farms. They don't, but let's imagine that they would. Would you
Sure.
would you have an issue with that? Doing the same thing to koalas, but for milk?
Do you think I'll say no because like the koalas are cute?
No, I'm just curious. Like, what would you think, knowing that a different animal is exploited and slaughtered for milk? Would you think the same way that that's their purpose?
I'll tell you something. I think the dogs is some of the smartest animals on the planet. Okay. And in some areas, for example, in Asia or East Asian countries or whatever, they eat dogs. Of course, I don't like that, and I think it's uncalled for. But some people argue that this is the only meat source that they have in some villages. That's
but
why they
doesn't-
do it. You know what I mean?
But the fact that you don't like
So-
it,
so-
the fact
so
that you
in the
don't like it.
Netherlands-
No, but
No,
like
I'm saying, so in the Netherlands, if they have the koala farm, and that's the only like source that they have, I
It's
would
not the
use
only source
same
of
argument
food.
as the dogs.
Yeah, like you've introduced necessity again, right? We
Yeah.
both discussed this. We both know there isn't a need, right? If
No,
there was a
that's for
need,
you and me.
then it's
That's
okay.
for you and me right now. But
Yeah, but even if it was for them, if it's a need, then we don't have an issue, right? If there was a need, you keep bringing in need, we don't have an issue if there's a need. But right now, in real day, there is a need. That's why we're giving you these examples, right?
Yeah, so the reason, by the way, Hex, the reason why I gave this example, and you mentioned dogs, let's just go with that, because you keep thinking that, well, you just said this expression that, well, I keep thinking that cows are for that purpose. Well, for example, when you see dogs, you don't see them as a purpose of being grown for meat. Whereas if you talk to a person who does that, like you said, on certain parts of this planet, they will say exactly as you do about cows, they will say about dogs. And yet, when you look at it, you don't like it. You find it immoral. You find it disgusting or something, right? But the
because
whole...
I feel that dogs are smart animals, yes.
Yeah, well...
Cows are also small animals.
Yeah, you know, there's videos of cows. You throw them a ball, they play fetch, they bring back the ball. You sing to a cow.
They're just big dogs.
Yeah, they're big. They actually are pretty much big dogs, yeah.
I think.
Okay, so
Look, I'm gonna
that's
throw
a fair
something
point.
out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw something out there, and like I wanna look. This might be the case for you, but it might not, right? I understand where you're coming from. I have talked with a lot of people who think like this, right? I at some point used to think like this as well, right? We grow up, we start eating meat. It's everywhere. It's family, friends. It's normalized. We're so used to thinking of these animals as food, right? And for the longest time in our history, they have been very important. We as humanity wouldn't have come this far if we didn't have these animals, right? It's only in the last 50 to 100 years like that we can go vegan everywhere in the world, right? That nutrition education has come so far. But that mindset that we've been having for thousands and thousands of years of viewing these animals as food products, right? Breeding them for the sole purpose of eating them, right? That's something that's hard to combat. But if we think about it rationally, that's just the something remnant of the we know deep down that I shouldn't kill this animal. I shouldn't if I don't have to. And even though I am used to as food, they aren't food. I like when we needed to, it was best for us to think about them as. There's no point in empathizing, right? It only hurts, sure, whatever. But now, can avoid them. We should bring the empathy back. We should not view them as food. We should view them as a product, as a number, as a weight for food, right?
So I agree to the point that you mentioned that if I don't need to, then absolutely.
Yeah.
It's,
And
immoral
so the
to,
thing
to
about
kill
this
an
is,
animal.
yeah, the thing about this is, even if you view them as food, just because you go vegan, you're not going to automatically, right? That comes over time. That paying, right? Like that naturally. Like
It
people
actually
have
reminded
been.
me of something. When I was young, we had well, my grandmother had like not a chicken farm, but she had like 10, 15 chickens in her backyard. Yeah.
Mm.
And then one specific or two specific chickens that I used to like play to, or like when I was like 8 or 9, maybe. And then one day she cooked it. She cooked the chickens that I used to play with. She made it became food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't eat them. I didn't eat anything from that meal.
Of course not.
I
And you know
didn't-
why?
I didn't
Because
eat,
you.
I think I didn't eat chicken for like a month after that. I got really
Yeah,
upset.
that's because you saw their individuals. You saw they have subjective experience, right? But when they're hidden away, when you don't get to realize that they are their own individual beings with their own personality, their own traits, their own quirks, it's harder to empathize, right? But that empathy comes
I guess
back if
that's
you go
right. I
vegan.
guess that's right. I guess that's right.
And
Yeah,
like
and
vegans will say this. That was gonna say, right? After vegans go vegan, like after a couple months, couple years, they're like, I cannot believe I used to view these animals as food. I cannot believe I used to eat the flesh of these animals, right? Like for them, it doesn't make sense
Oh
because
man, why I had to use the word flesh now? That makes me actually. Okay. Yeah,
I'm sorry, but it's the truth, isn't it?
kind of. Yeah.
yeah, and also
Look,
by the
bro,
way,
you
like
seem sorry, go on, Chip.
you should also kind of be upset with the fact that these industries like animal agriculture and all these people that you give them money to get the products from them, you should also reject them from the beginning because they are essentially lying to you. They are hiding away everything that happens to animals. They are placing labels so that you believe them and buy their products. Like they are not looking after your interest, your own money's interest, or anything regarding you. They only want to suck you dry, get your money, and in the process make you do something that you consider it immoral, and lie about it, hide it from you, so that you cannot actually even wake up and become moral in the process. So I think you should also stop supporting these industries on that alone, on that basis alone, aside from the fact that there is so much inherent animal exploitation in there.
They only care about one thing, and that's
I
profit.
tell you guys what. I'll actually think about it again. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I might,
you're
I
here,
might give
right?
it.
Why don't
I
you try to
might
think
give it
about it?
another
And
try. I might give it another try. I think you guys. Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
I put a link in the description. It's called challenge22.com. They hook you up with a nutritionist.
okay.
They send you recipes and help you go vegan for free. If you're going to try it the right way so that you make sure you get all your nutrients, and they can help you with that.
Sure. I might actually give it a try. I mean, see, I'm not.
And
if
come back here, discuss with us. Let us help you.
Sure.
You know, give us your thoughts.
Sure. You guys kept using the word thrive. Yeah. Not only survive but thrive.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Like
for me, if I'm getting the same benefits, you know, from like a planet-based diet, then of course I don't like the cravings. I mean, I understand it's gonna be hard at the beginning, you know, but I can survive the cravings. You know what I mean?
yeah, and see that's the thing, right? The smarter you are about it, the easier it gets, right? You're not gonna get cravings if you're already enjoying good mock meat, right?
I mean, there are gonna be new things to try, right? New recipes to try. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
like something else.
Yeah.
You know what
Also,
I
I
mean?
would,
Never know.
I would also invite you not to make it too hard for you at the beginning. So if you know, like for instance, I mean, it's a pretty common phenomenon. If one is hungry, then one is probably also gonna impulse buy at the grocery store. So try make it a bit easier for you. Don't go on empty stomach like grocery shopping. You know, especially as a beginner. You know, go easy. And yeah, because if you have full control over your environment at home, then I think, at least in my opinion, cravings should be manageable. I think cravings are usually especially prominent when you are in these high risk situations, like grocery stores, or when you're outside with a friend or so, or with your girlfriend or family, whatever, or when you are dining out.
Oh, family is gonna be a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also, like in the case where you go like to the supermarket well fed or like not hungry, I would also say try to prepare yourself mentally for these situations.
Yeah.
I think,
Or like what discussions you're gonna
that
have with your
is,
family, right? If your family asks about what you're gonna
especially
say.
as a beginner, it's very important because you haven't internalized. Yeah. Maybe you can even write it down for yourself somewhere, like maybe like a 1 or 2 liner. You can write it down like I don't know, like I'm saying no because of my values, because there's something bigger than just my food, or I don't know. You can write down. I know it's like socially uncomfortable to reject cultural norms, but I do it for a purpose. Something like that that's also resonates with you, because you really need to have like something helpful in your mind in these high risk situations, I would say.
I understand.
Yeah.
Sure. I think I'll think about it and give it. I'll give it another go. Yeah, why not? I'll try that
Oh yeah,
challenge
come back
22
and tell us all
website.
about it. Please come back and let us know
You
how we
know
can
what?
help you. Or even if you change your mind, just come back and talk to us.
Yeah. See, the first time when I tried it, I think the main reason it was not the craving, but yeah, there's okay. So I think everyone has like a favorite food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a treat,
Yeah.
like a favorite food. Yeah. So my favorite food like includes meat, but it's like I eat it like I don't know, like maybe once a month. Like it's not everyday thing. But I think that's why the first time it didn't work for me. I craved that food.
But try to
You
find
know
a
what I mean?
plant-based meat that might replace that, because nowadays
I
there's
might
some
actually
really
search.
good alternatives.
Yeah. I might actually search like for vegan lasagna because that's my thing.
Just
Bro,
keep in mind-
lasagna? Oh, come on. That's
Yeah,
you will definitely find something.
Just keep in mind that all these plant-based mock products, right, the ones that replace meat or cheese, they are so
Yeah.
variable in taste that if you try one, in taste, flavor, consistency, everything. So if you try one that you don't
Different
like,
brands,
you might not.
different recipes.
Yeah, like there's several that I don't like. Like there's a
Yeah.
brand that I don't like their whole product line. So I'm just saying, like, don't stop at one if you're looking for, like, don't just try one and say like all of them are bad, because they're so different
So you're
from each other.
saying I should try like different brands as well. If
Yeah,
one didn't
experiment,
work for me.
explore.
Yeah. That's the beautiful
Alright,
part
yeah.
of it, by the way. I found it very exciting when I went vegan, because I started exploring and finding new things to like.
Alright, okay.
And
Alright,
with
sure,
your
sure.
partner, you know, like, I think at the end of the day, if you watch like a Dominion together, you might have a good response, because, you know, your partner may also not be okay with it. You know, I don't think anybody, like, I'm assuming they are your partner because you share the same values. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'll take
think that's-
see, I
yeah.
was convinced of some of the points that you guys brought up, so I think I'll take that with her as well.
Yeah. I think it's like Chip made a very good point. I think it's crucial for you to remind yourself why you're doing this, right? Watch Dominion
understand.
or
I'm sorry,
like
watch
these are
what?
the Watch Dominion, like someone put in the
What is
chat.
that?
It's basically investigative farming footage, right? Undercover footage taken of what actually happens.
Where can I watch that? I only got the challenge 22 link.
Yeah, I'll put it right now in the chat. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Can I ask question?
We're just about to wrap this up, yeah. But thank you so much for being open-minded and
yeah.
listening us out and respectful, Hex.
Sure,
Again,
sure.
please,
Thank
please,
you,
if you have
guys.
any questions, if you disagree, come back, chat to us.
Yeah,
Oh
sure,
yeah,
sure.
bro.
Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna
thank you.
send you a friend request, and I'll send you a message in a couple of days, check in on you, if that's
Alright,
okay.
sure.
Actually, how did people here become vegans in the first place? Like Chip, for example. Can I know?
Say that again?
Listen. Like how did you become vegan? Was there a point in your life, a certain age or something?
Like
the
when did
documentaries.
are you asking when I became vegan or what made me vegan?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
is
yeah.
the question?
Yeah, both are kind of answer the same thing. Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Okay, so I was I first became vegetarian after learning that meat is not healthy. There were it was like 14 or 15 years ago for me when I became vegetarian, and
what age was that?
I don't know, 24, 25. So I'm 37, so 12 years ago actually. Yeah. So
Whoa, Chip, you look way younger.
Thank you, I guess. I don't know. Everybody has a mixed opinion on that. So I became vegetarian because I realized that meat is not healthy. There were studies coming up more and more that they're correlated with colon cancer and other type of
heart disease.
Yeah, heart disease and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I was pretty much a health nut my whole life. So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna risk it. It's not like meat provides that much taste. It's what you put on the meat that gives it taste anyway. So I could find alternatives. But then, I don't know, at some point, I started watching debates online, and vegan debates are very prevalent online in the debate space. And
I never knew that.
Yeah, so I learned that, you know, after watching one debate after another, all my points about veganism got debunked one by one. And at some point, I realized there's no more excuses that I can make. I need to go vegan in order for me to be able to sleep at night knowing that I'm doing the right thing. That's it.
I see.
Oh yeah. Another side benefit no one talks about is when you go vegan, like your morality, right? You generally become a more moral person.
Yeah.
Like, not because of obviously being in line and being like not a hypocrite, but also because you're fighting to try to be a more moral person, right? You're fighting against the current norms of the society, fighting against the current flow, and that makes you want to like recognize your identity as someone who's moral. Like it extends to beyond veganism to other aspects of your life as well.
Was that similar for you, Silver? Like chips? What he said?
Well, some here and there, yeah. I mean, if you're asking how I went, I was 14, 15, and I went to my RS teacher was vegan. She didn't tell me, but she had a class, just a philosophy class, and we were just doing trolley problems and like discussing gray areas and philosophy. And she brought up milk and like how it's unnecessary. And I was a vegetarian, and I'd moved recently to India, so me, I was I just you need milk. And when I learned that, still have to be artificially still have to be killed. Well, she didn't even say killed. She just said we need milk. We and that's all she said, and we about that. But that point struck me because when I was looking around my
is it cutting in and out only for me or for everybody else?
Oh,
it is for me.
It's cutting in and out for me as well.
Silver, you're coming
sorry.
in and out. Yeah.
Let me leave and rejoin.
Hello, guys. Can I ask one question, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Hopefully that's
I
better.
never talked with vegans before, and can you explain me? I'm not trolling. Can you explain me why eating animal is bad in the simplest way?
Yeah, because you yeah, it's very easy actually. So obviously the first line of reason is because they suffer in almost all cases before they die, right? They suffer not just throughout their lives, but also like minutes before their slaughter. And obviously if you kill them, even if you try to kill them painlessly, right? Like in the human case, you are taking away something that they actually value the most and which is actually connected to everything else they have. And that is basically their life. So there's nothing worth more in their life than their own life. And if you take away their life, you're taking away everything that they value. That's it, in a nutshell.
Okay.
Hang on.
And
Hang on. If that's really true, you kill more mice. You kill more mice plowing a field of wheat than you do having cows. You can get 14 meals of sandwiches out of a mouse's death. You can get 390 meals of beef out of a cow.
Wait. But are you open to challenging those numbers?
I am
I'm
open.
happy to go through them for you if you want.
So
I can run you through those numbers.
No,
if you want.
so you said we kill a certain number of animals when we plow like a crop. You said wheat, but I imagine any crop is similar, right?
You're probably going to find a similar number.
Yeah.
Depending on the location you're farming in, especially in Australia or Europe, you're going to have a lot of mice. Yep.
Okay, so if you were to find out that 80%, so I think it's between 60 and 80, I'm not sure about the exact number, but let's just say the majority of crop agriculture that is grown for food is actually grown to feed the animals. Wouldn't that mean that when you consume an animal product, you're also responsible for all the food that was grown to feed that animal?
I don't know why that's particularly relevant here.
Well, it is because in the end, when you choose to buy an animal product outside of the exploitation of that animal that you are supporting, you are also responsible for all the killings of the mice that you mentioned for the food that we grew specifically for that animal.
Mice will die anyway. Yeah. What are you saying?
That
More
wasn't
mice,
the point.
more rodents will die.
That wasn't the point. The whole point
I'm
is
happy to
that
get I'm happy to get back to the other animal thing, but the mice will die anyway. Cows will also die anyway.
The whole point wasn't whether mice will die or cows will die anyway. The whole point.
No, I understand that. I understand that wasn't.
More
I understand that wasn't
animals
your point.
are killed, And I'm explaining to you that is factually wrong, and it's a factual. It's pretty much impossible for you to create more harm when your whole intention is to not exploit and cause less harm. You know that, right? Like it's like it's just factually impossible when it comes to this particular area, because again, a lot of the times you forget the fact that these animals have to be
Hang on.
fed.
The number
I
of
think
the amount of animal feed is only about 16%.
It is out of all crop agriculture, but I said crop agriculture coming for food. We create crops for multiple purposes. We create it for fuel. We create it for a lot of reasons. I said that most of the crop agriculture grown for food is grown to feed the animals.
I can try and look up the specific numbers, but I'm
look it up.
looking at the rate for wheat here, which is what I'm using for this comparison, and it's 16%.
Yeah, but
So
looking
even
only
if I
at wheat,
account for that, I'm still looking at a significant. Well, you look at wheat because wheat has been a staple food for the human diet for forever, basically.
yeah, but that
I mean,
would be
that's where we get beer. It's where we get a whole bunch of stuff. Like it's been historically amazingly important to human development.
Yeah, but that's not relevant, because we
doesn't-
don't only eat
Yeah, exactly.
wheat, and animals don't only eat wheat, right? You have to look at all the crop agriculture, right? So I'm
We're not
looking-
making sandwiches out of other crops.
No, but we're
And I'm
feeding
saying-
it to
but-
the
but-
animals, right?
No, we're not.
We're
We're
feeding-
only feeding at most about 20%. It's actually 16, but I'm happy to round that number up. I'm saying
No, that's
that
out of the
if
total
you
crop
eat-
agriculture, not out of the.
If you
not
eat
out of the
2 sandwiches a day, you will kill more. If you eat 2 sandwiches a day for every meal, you will kill more animals than if you eat 500 grams of beef for every meal.
But that is factually wrong, as we just explained to you, because of crop agriculture. Like, look, Felix just dropped a chart showing you the land usage per each product. Do you agree that if more land is used to create 1 gram of protein, of animal protein, then automatically more animals will be killed to clear that land than if it were for 1 gram of plant protein? Do you agree that, like, let's agree on this fact, that if more land is used for 1, then automatically more animals are killed for 1?
No. The energy density in animals is
No,
significantly higher
That's
than in
not
plants.
what I asked. I asked you this. If you agree that per calorie or per protein, it takes more land to make one than the other, then automatically all the crop deaths that you mentioned would be multiplied for one versus the other.
I don't quite understand the point you're getting at there.
So the point that I'm getting at there
Is
is
the
because
claim that animals take up more land?
animal agriculture, per calorie or per protein, whatever you want to look at, it takes up considerably more land. Therefore, in us clearing that land or using that land, we inherently commit the same crop deaths that you seem to be concerned with, then you would be committing when you're consuming plant agriculture. So in that word, it is factually wrong that if you take the same amount of calories from plant-based food versus the same amount of calories from animal-based food, that you are responsible for more deaths. Do you understand that? Because inherently you use considerably less land. Therefore, it is impossible for you to have more deaths on less land.
It's depend from
Hang
where
on, hang
you're
on, hang on.
living.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It is statistically improbable. Let me
So
put
listen,
it this
guys.
way.
It depends at where you live, because in my country, it's Kazakhstan. We have steppe lands, more land, okay? And sorry for my English, but if we growing animals in the steppes, like we're not agriculture doing something with land and something that animals going to free and eat what they find, like horses or sometimes like cows.
No. So
And,
wait, do you believe that in your land, chickens are not fed?
I'm not telling about chicken. Okay, right now I'm telling about the horses.
but it's
In my land, there is we have then farms. They eating like not natural, like produced by human plants. Yes, but also we have the farmers or like common farmers, like less farmers who have the horses that eating only like on the nature, on the plains. They go free and eat what they find on our lands.
So you're saying that the animals that you have animals that are grazing, right? That's what you're saying. And because
Yeah, yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
animals that are okay, well, I don't know what, like, your whole argument being that is somehow considerably using less resources. That's obviously not true, because a grazing animal will need a lot of land in order to feed themselves for a whole lifetime.
might need a
So
lot of
You can
land.
look at the map.
That's not really relevant here. It's not relevant how much land the animal takes
it
up.
is.
It's relevant how much land the crop takes up, but the animal can have as much land as it wants.
No, it's not. It's exactly the same thing. Do you think crop deaths happen only? Wait, do you think we kill animals only in crop production, or do you think we kill animals also to clear land to make animal farms?
You know what
I
means
don't think
nomadic
cows
culture?
are running
I just
around
throw out a quick
killing
question real
things like
quickly.
a tractor does.
Wait. Let's make the
And
basics.
look, I looked it up. Okay, I looked it up. 36% if we take all crops into account.
You have to
right?
show the
So
source,
I'm happy to.
otherwise.
I'm happy to. It's our world in data. I'm happy to show the source.
Yeah, please
if
show
you
the
want me
source
to
and
take
let's see.
time to pop it in, that's fine. But it's. I'm happy to round that up to 40, even if I
No.
for
Please
that
first show the
40%.
source, because again, I think you're misreading it. I think you're reading out
You
of
want me
all
to-
crop
you-
agriculture, not crop agriculture for food. Again, you have to look at it, crop agriculture specifically for food, not crop agriculture for everything we do. Because if you look at everything we do, then you will say, yeah, crop agriculture for animals is a 20% or whatever percentage you find, but then crop agriculture for plant food will be even lower than that. So there you go. It proves your point. It proves my point, actually.
Also, we have to remember, like, when it comes to livestock animals, there is billions of them, right? Like 80 billions, 10 times more than humans, right?
Yeah.
Then we also have to think about how big the animals are. Cows eat 10 times more food than a human does every single day. And then, on top of that, as you saw the thermodynamics of the calories in the side channel, we have to feed animals a lot of food for multiple years. Then when we eat the animals, we only eat a tiny, not even a fraction, 3% of the total calories that the animal ate in its entire life. That's a lot of lost calories. A
Cows
lot.
can eat
conversion ratio.
wheats. Human can't eat wheats.
Wait, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying eating animals loses 97% of all of the calories that the cow ate. 97. This is literally, imagine this. Imagine like you have a huge bag of food. You throw the bag into a black hole, and you get like, I don't know, 2 peanuts from it. That's basically how much food we lose.
Yeah, I dropped the data, as you said, Our World in Data. I dropped the article from Our World in Data, and the article clearly says that 80% of the food that we grow for animal it's like, if we combine global lazy land with the amount of cropland used for animal feed, livestock accounts for 80% of agricultural land use. 80%.
Of land use.
Yeah, the logic is also pretty simple, right? So the higher you go to the trophic level, so first you have like the producers, right? Then you have the herbivores and the carnivores, then secondary carnivores, and then you have like the so-called apex predators. So if it actually were the case that we only eat, let's say, lions, right, or like some carnivores, it would be even worse, right? Because you have to imagine first the plant has to be eaten, then the herbivore grows, and then the carnivore has to kill the herbivore, and then we kill the carnivore. Makes no sense. It would be even worse. So the higher you go to the trophy, and it would even be completely disastrous if there is, like, let's say, like an alien species who only eats humans. That would be even worse in terms of efficiency, obviously, only, right? I mean, morally speaking.
Yeah, and let's just imagine. I'm just like, I don't care data. You don't want to trust the data, don't trust the data. But you know what? Let's imagine that you're right, and there's more deaths happening with plant agriculture than crop agriculture than animal farming, right? Well, you would understand that one is intentional killing and the other is killing to defend your crops. And you also would agree that if I personally, a vegan, were to be doing the crop agriculture, I would not be killing those animals. I would try to move them or help or perform agriculture without killing them, because there are methods. It's called veganic farming, it's called vertical farming. So you saying that there is a problem when we're creating crops, we agree there is. But that has nothing to do with the fact that you make choices where you exploit and slaughter innocent sentient beings. That has nothing to do with it. We kill animals when we build roads and houses. That does not give us the right to kill more animals or exploit more animals on the side, just because we do it sometimes.
I'm saying that destruction is inevitable.
But that's not the
Killing
point,
is
is
always
it?
killing. Yes.
That's exactly my point, and I raised this one. So yes, it is.
Yeah, but that's an appeal to futility what you're making right now, and it's a logical fallacy, because what you're essentially saying, destruction is going to happen anyway, therefore I might as well go outside, there's a dog park in front of my house, and might as well cut the throat of a dog. They don't belong to anybody.
No,
and
not
eat
at
the
all.
dog.
I didn't know. I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that you should just go
Destruction
out
is
and
happening
needlessly
anyway.
kill. I didn't say that you should needlessly go out and kill things. I said
Wait.
that my argument is that it's a balancing act. That
Wait,
there are
so
there
you're
are
saying
certain.
needless-
Hang on. I let you finish your thing. Give me some space here. I'm saying that it's a balancing act. It's basically a calculation. There are some circumstances in which we are okay with animal deaths.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You
But is
said-
that true?
No.
Hang on, is that true?
That there are
there's
situations-
no circumstances.
So let me explain it this way. I'll
Hang
answer your
on.
question.
Are there no circumstances in which you are okay with animal deaths?
But that's what I want to answer.
but hold
if
on,
there is
hold on.
no, Val, let me finish answer his question. If there is a need for it,
Okay.
then it is, as you said, justified, or whatever. There is a situation where you will participate in it because there is a need for it. But there is absolutely no need for it. It was, as you said, it is needless. Then how
There
do
is
you
a
morally
need for it.
justify it?
I want to get fed. I want to eat the meat.
So
That's a
you
need.
can, but
I guess it's
wait,
technically it's a want if you want to go that
Yeah,
way.
that's
There
the
you
fancy
go.
word. There it is. There it
But
is.
if you want to get down to that point, then we can basically argue that everything is a want. Your want to get
Wait.
to work is a want.
Winter.
You still
Winter,
drive
do-
on the streets, and we admit it.
wait,
But we
wait,
admitted that
Winter,
that
Winter,
making
Winter.
roads goes and kills animals.
Winter. Do vegans want to kill individuals to get pleasure out of their deaths?
No one's getting pleasure
Dude,
out of that. No one's getting pleasure out of the death.
Wait, you
No
do
one's
get
sitting around
ple-
going, "Hooray, they're
Hold-
dead."
Hold on, Winter. Hello. You get the pleasure of eating an individual's dead body, right? So you do get the pleasure
Pleasure.
of a dead individual.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yo, Smo, I'm gonna actually.
I don't
mute
know.
you.
I don't know quite what that means. Like, I feel like you're conflating two things there. I'm having a sense of enjoyment from the taste, therefore I am pleasuring from the death. Like,
Yeah, like the dead body. You
Really?
get the pleasure of eating a dead body, right?
right. So you drive your car to work, and that allows you to pay for things that make you happy. Therefore, you are taking pleasure from the animals that died to make that
This
road.
is a whataboutism.
Yeah.
What about you doing this? What about this? What about this? You know,
No, it's
addressing
not about
the thing.
whatism. He mentioned the roads. He
is.
mentioned
can I
the roads.
address
He
this?
brought that up.
Yeah, let me address this.
I brought
Let
up
me
the
address
road
this. Okay.
as an, what,
Oh, the
what-
thing
as,
is,
as
hold
an
on.
example of a whataboutism. That's why I brought up
Yeah.
the road. Go on, Val.
Yeah. So
you
yeah. So the
you said that
important.
when
hold
you
on.
make the
Let me
roads, you
speak.
kill animals.
Yeah. So the important difference is obviously also like whenever you do something, there are certain harms that can occur, and we weigh these things up, right, based on pros and cons. But the issue is when it comes down
Hang on
to
a second.
us.
When I said that, you guys accused me of making
No,
an
it's
argument
fine.
for
I will
futility,
just.
and now you're making the same argument, but
No,
it's
no.
okay in this circumstance.
No.
No.
But I want to I want to highlight that there are always some unintended consequences, but that does not apply when you eat a cow.
Exactly.
Because that is inherent. you have to inherently abuse, misuse, exploit, and then eventually kill an animal in order to get it on your menu, on your plate, right?
Yeah. So in other words,
But in the plant, in the plant example, it's unintended. The vegan would always choose, if it is possible in a possible world, a vegan would presumably always be inclined to minimize or eliminate all kinds of unintended deaths. Yes, and that's the important,
They
right?
could stop eating. Hang on, that's not true. They could stop eating.
wait, we would die
Yeah,
if
but
we
then,
stopped eating.
but
What the
then
hell are you talking
Yeah,
veganism,
right.
about?
But hang on.
but hold
The
on.
claim
But
wasn't.
then
The claim
veganism is
was
not a
we
life
would
philosophy.
always
Hold on.
try to
But,
avoid those.
but then, hold on. But then veganism is not a life philosophy, but a death philosophy. That makes no
That's
sense.
fine. No one claimed it was a life
No.
philosophy here.
It is.
You said that vegans would always do things to minimize the number of deaths, and I'm saying, well, you could not eat.
No, you misunderstood.
Yes.
No, that's not what I said. Listen, veganism.
There's a caveat.
Veganism. No,
If they
veganism does not.
caveat is-
Hold on.
hang
Let me
on.
speak.
If
Let me speak.
vegans
No.
stopped eating, if vegans stopped eating, would it guarantee that they didn't kill anything?
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
I
wait,
know.
wait. Val,
I know.
let
But
me
thing
finish
is,
for 1
hold
second,
on.
Val.
Vegan. Before one statement just only. Veganism is not. Listen very carefully, because veganism is not negative utilitarianism. Veganism does not entail that we have to eliminate or even minimize all suffering by all means necessary. Right? We care more about rights violation. We don't care about like minimizing all suffering with all means, because if you use any mean, then you
The
can.
person left.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. This is
Sorry.
very
Winter-
important.
No, sorry. Sorry, didn't.
Yeah. No, it's
I
okay.
just got confused. Sorry. Yeah, Winter, do you understand what they said?
Well, I sort of understand the goalposts are moving here a little bit.
No.
First, it was vegans
No.
would always minimize. First, it was vegans would always.
It's a byproduct. It's a byproduct. If you
Now
don't
it-
exploit animals,
Well,
hold
they'll
on.
do
If
their
you don't
best,
exploit
but
animals,
what can you do?
yeah, it's a byproduct. Like minimization of harm. Minimization of harm will usually be a byproduct if you stop exploiting animals. Yeah, of course.
Same way, I would explain it in like the best way possible. Like when you do.
rainbow.
Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna mute this person. When you do things in your life, you don't intend to harm humans, right? Let's say when you drive a car, when you buy
hang on.
products,
But if I do something and I don't intend to harm someone and they get injured from that, that doesn't make me not responsible for it. If I do something and don't intend to harm someone but they die because of my actions, that's called manslaughter.
No, it's
Wait,
called
are you
It's
telling
still
me
a
that?
jail.
Wait.
It's still a jailable offense.
Wait, Winter.
Not
Are you
if it's
telling me that
Yeah.
driving?
It's done in.
Hold on, guys. Wait. This is super important. Winter. So if I drive a car, and by me driving a car, a child dies from CO2 emissions, I fault? Can I? Hello?
No, from reasonably foreseeable.
Wait. Am I at fault for killing a child for driving a car?
I didn't say that any action that
I'm saying in this
you
action.
do.
I'm saying in
I'm
this
saying
action.
that, no. But I wasn't saying that
But can
any
you answer
action
my
you
question?
take. I wasn't saying any action you take
Can
will
you answer my
result in
question?
manslaughter. I'm saying that there actually
answer
is
my
a
question?
category of things.
Can you answer my question?
I am answering your question, and I just
It's
like
a
to
yes or
point
no
out
question.
when
If I drive a car and CO2 emissions are
when
being
I asked a
emitted
yes
from
or
the
no
car,
question of that chip guy and he tried to wriggle out of it by not giving me a yes or no answer, I didn't sit
Wait.
here and go, no, answer the question, I'm answering your question. You just
Winter.
don't like my answer. I can't
Winter,
help you with
Winter,
that.
Hello. So when you ask us a question, we can actually elaborate after. You can ask me a yes or no question, and I can
But he didn't say
elaborate
yes
after.
or no. He still hasn't said yes or no to the original question.
I can answer
not
anything
sure.
you want, but I think the conversation just isn't
Except for
going
the
so
question
well
I asked
because you
before.
fail to understand the point, and you keep trying to find excuses to make yourself to make your part of the argument seem better. This isn't a debate, by the way. I'm not here to debate you, but if you want to debate me on the fact that veganism is a moral principle that is factually better for everybody, we can debate that. But I think the whole point of it is asking you why you are not vegan and trying to get you to choose to stop exploiting innocent sentient beings.
Are you asking me a question now?
Well, like,
No, that
do
was
you
a
understand the difference between a system that contains exploitation and a system that depends on exploitation?
Hang on, I asked a yes or no question. You have to answer yes or no. Are you asking me whether I'm vegan?
No, what
No,
is
that
your
wasn't a
question? I'll answer it
You're not
again.
asking me. Okay.
What is your
That's
question?
actually a
I'm
good
sorry, I
question.
don't
Winter, are
remember
you
it.
vegan?
What is your question again? I'll now reply to it.
My question was, are you asking me if I am vegan?
No.
Okay.
Does that help with anything? There you go. So the conversation does not move. Now, let me ask you
No,
this. Do you understand the difference between a system that contains
No,
exploitation
the reason
and a
it
system
doesn't
that
move is
inherently depends on exploitation?
Veganism doesn't inherently.
Do you
that's
understand
a hell
the
of a claim.
difference between a system that contains exploitation and a system that inherently depends on exploitation?
Which one's the one that inherently depends on it?
I'm asking you, do you understand? If there's two systems, one depends on exploitation and one contains exploitation. Do you understand the difference between them?
Everything depends on.
It's a yes or no
I
question.
understand the words you are putting forwards. If that's your question,
Okay.
I'm asking you, what systems are you talking about? I am not giving any answer for any systems that actually exist.
Okay,
They-
so
they-
you
they
understand, Felix, 1 second. So you understand that when you consume animal products, you are supporting a system that inherently depends on exploiting animals. There is absolutely no way to create animal products without exploiting animals. It's impossible. It's not improbable, it is impossible. And the other systems that you mentioned, road building, all
Hang on,
this
I
other
didn't
stuff,
say I
are
didn't say I
systems
understood
that
that.
contain
I didn't say I
exploitation.
understood that.
All those systems need to be improved. The animal agriculture needs to be abolished. It's pretty simple.
Can we back to my questions,
I
please?
agree with that.
Winterborn, what questions do you feel have not been answered sufficiently?
No. I don't. I think he answered my question there. I specifically said I wasn't agreeing that was an animal exploitation system, and then he took it to an animal exploitation system.
Wait, are you saying animal agriculture is not a system that inherently depends on exploitation of animals?
Compared to what?
No, not compared to. In isolation. Is animal agriculture a system that inherently depends on exploiting animals?
I'm asking you what the alternative is.
Well, we can discuss the alternative, but before we discuss the alternative, I'm asking you if this system inherently depends on exploiting animals. Whether there are alternatives or not is a different thing.
Does our system depend on the exploitation of animals? I'm
Yes or no?
watching here.
Can you
Thank you.
actually answer the question?
Yes.
Winter?
You know.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay,
Cool.
great.
Okay. So if this system inherently depends on exploitation, and exploitation is obviously wrong because
Right.
it is
Can you
by
answer my
definition
question,
unfairness.
which is, it's not true. That's such a leap of logic.
Wait, what is
Why
a
is
leap
it
of
unfair?
logic?
Why is it
Exploitation
unfair?
inherent
Why is
in
it unfair?
exploitation.
Why is exploitation
by
inherently
definition means unfair usage of somebody. It's by definition unfair.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's analytically true. Definitionally, it's true. It's like murder, basically.
Yeah,
right? It's in the
definition of
definition.
Exploitation
Yeah,
means
it's
that you're
baked
simply
in.
getting something out of someone.
Guys, we're on English server. Let's look into the actual definition
look it up.
of exploitation. I'm gonna put in the side channel exploitation, and I'm gonna take this, copy, paste, so we can both learn together. Let's go. There you go, Chip. Read this out.
Exploitation is the action or fact of treating someone unfairly in order to benefit from their work. It's
What's
unfairly.
The second definition? What's the second definition?
The second
What's
definition
the
is
second definition?
the second definition refers to exploitation of minerals, of objects, the action of making use and
It's like
benefiting from
metaphorical.
resources. It's a resource.
Of resource.
Animals are
Yes,
not resources. Animals are individuals.
If they're not resources, what are they?
Wait, do you think humans
He
are
just said.
resources?
He
Wait.
just said.
Do you think
That's
humans
why
are
it's called
resources?
human resources.
So
That's
do you
why
think
it's called
humans are
human
resources?
Oh my days.
Well, that's why it's called human resources. Labor
do you
is a
think? Wait.
resource.
So do you think exploiting humans is not unfair because they are resources?
It depends on the situation. There are
No,
some
you're
cases
just
where exploiting. No,
wow.
there are
You're
some cases
moving
where
the
exploiting
goalposts,
someone.
man.
There are some. I'm trying to answer your question. For someone who had a problem with me not answering, you keep interrupting me. There are some cases where exploiting people is unfair. There are some cases where exploiting someone in the sense that you are getting resources is not unfair. That's what a trade deal is.
No.
Winter.
So by the way, you're using the word
Yes,
exploitation
yes,
wrongfully.
actually,
The
yes.
word exploitation means, as you saw, the first definition that we just put it in the dictionary is the act
Yeah, but
of
words have
a fact
multiple
or treating
definitions. You
somebody
can't just say,
unfairly
I like
in
that
order to
definition
benefit
more
from
than
their
all the
work.
rest.
Wait,
You have
Therefore,
to,
the rest don't matter.
guys. Since we're still on English Discord, remember when it comes to definition, there's a primary definition and a secondary definition. That's why there are numbers next to it, right?
yes.
No,
So
Let's
the
use
primary
the
definition.
No, that's not how English works. I'm a native English speaker. Different words have
Oh,
different
that must mean you
meanings
know a
in different
lot.
contexts.
But
I
Winterborn,
know that different
obviously,
words have different meanings in different contexts.
yeah,
Yes.
but
You
but
can use
Winterborn, obviously,
exploitation in a negative sense. You can also use it to mean you are getting resources
Okay,
out of
hold on.
something or someone. When I go to work so that I get some resources from my boss, I am exploiting the resources of my boss so that I can do some
No, you're
work.
not.
He is exploiting.
Wait.
Yes, I am, by definition.
Can we get to like an actual good conversation? I want to move away
Felix,
from these.
Felix, before I think what has been missed here, and I think Winterborn, you already mentioned that as well in your secondary, let's say, assessment of the word as exploitation, when you refer to the people like under a working. Wait, let me respond, please. In a working condition. So, wait, did he left? Did he leave?
Oh, yes, they did. Yes, they did. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I just don't even I don't even care. Like
It is important to mention that consent is the even if we agree for the sake of argument that exploitation has two meanings, even if we can grant that trivially, but the issue is lack of consent. In the case that he invoked, consent was given. Even if we apply the exploitation definition by his standards, that's under consent. Right,
but they could always move the goalpost, saying, I'm forced to consent or whatever the fuck because I need to work or whatever. It's going to be another goalpost being moved.
Plus the whole point
Can I,
isn't
can I
that.
throw out a question to y'all real quick?
Yeah, go on. Let me just finish 1 second. So the whole point is that before we agree to disagree on the definition of exploitation, strawmanning the argument and saying that's not what exploitation means is like it just helps nobody, because our whole point is that exploitation is unfair. If there's two definitions of exploitation, one meaning unfair and one meaning fair, we were discussing the unfairness of it. So if you want to tackle whether we're not using the correct word, doesn't really matter. It's still unfair, and tackle the whole unfairness of it. That's it. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I felt like he was trolling or something.
Can we back up to my questions, please, guys? I asked you why eating animal is bad. Walt told me only two things why it's bad. First, it's because animals suffer. Second, it's killing animals make you a bad person. Okay?
No, you're doing a bad action. It doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. You're doing something bad.
Okay, it not making you a bad person, but it makes you doing something bad. Okay?
Okay.
That's what he said. Okay, let's go to the first thought I get from Wall. It's, and if animal will not suffer or will suffer just minimum of needs, it will be okay to eating animals?
No, because
no.
You're still disregarding their individuality. Let me ask you this, because so that you understand the perspective better. Would it be okay to kill and eat, I don't know, humans?
It will be not okay, because you can't just eat humans and just like go physically and psychology. But we're talking about morality, or we're talking about you
So Becca,
morality, yes?
morally, if I say to you morally that I am not human, morally I'm a different species. If I have the power to kill and eat a human being, would it be moral for me as a different species to kill and eat a human being?
What's your questions?
So my question is, if I, a different species of individual, I am not human, I'm something else, if I have the power to kill and eat a human, is it moral for me to kill and eat a human?
It depends from your morality. You can be from something different dimensions who have a different thoughts about, they don't compare with our vision of morality. They technically
But if you
have
see me doing
something-
that, would you
for
think,
me, it
yeah,
will be unfair 100%.
Okay,
For
okay.
him, it will be like okay.
Okay, so then if you, from your perspective, you would find it unfair, then do you understand that when a human chooses to kill and exploit an animal, an animal could find it unfair?
Yes, or I don't know what things we can get a simple cow. Yes, we like eating cow, and what do you think? He thought it's unfair or
That's not the point.
not unfair?
Before
Okay.
we even go down that route, if a cow could talk, do you think a cow would find it unfair if you choose to kill and eat a member of their family or somebody like, I don't know, another cow?
If it depends from what.
So wait. How
mean,
does it depend?
Where is growing? It's okay. Let's. I give you that answer. How that depends? Can I do that?
But
you
let
can
me ask you before you give this answer how it
that
depends.
animal
Before you
can
give this
live.
answer, go on, give your answer.
If some cow can speak and how have intelligent like humans, they will think it will be unfair. But now cow can't speak you and
Yeah, but
tell
that's
you that's
irrelevant.
unfair.
That's not the
and
point.
you
So let me-
cannot know that's unfair for him.
But Becca, you
Okay,
acknowledge wait 1 second, Val. So you acknowledge that if they could speak, they would find it unfair. Thank you for that. That's
Yes.
exactly the whole point.
Yes, yeah, I acknowledge that.
Okay, so the fact that now the issue is that the fact that that animal cannot speak. So now I bring it back to the other hypothetical that we just discussed before. And let's imagine that again, I'm a different species and I want to eat a human being. And this human being that I want to kill and eat cannot speak or cannot communicate to me what they want to do. Is it fair
And-
for me to exploit and kill them?
If you cannot speak with me, if you cannot understand me,
Yeah.
if you in some level of mind, like you're not from, we can just you like 7 dimensions or something else, like you're not from our universe, and you can just feel in our what is on our mind. It for you it will be
No,
it will
but
be
for
fair.
you. For you. Would it be fair
For me,
Yeah.
it will be totally unfair, 100%.
So there you go. So you understand that if I would be to a different species doing this, if you as a human are doing this to a different species, no matter if that individual that you're doing it to can understand or not, they would find what you're doing to them unfair. And knowing that you don't need to do any of it, that you're doing it only because you can or because you want to, does that not make your action immoral?
Okay, if that thing which is you, like something from different dimensions, if you make me to like happy life with, if I'm not suffer and do what I want, like have free will, and at the end you will just eat me. After that I did what I like and I lived that happy life, and after that you will eat me. I think it's will be maybe unfair for me, but if I know what happened with me, but if happens eventually, I don't know what is killed me, but I lived happy, and after that it will be totally fair, I think.
Wait. So
You
you
not
Well,
think that?
That's
So
I don't
we have
know.
to
That's a little
redistinguish.
I don't know.
controversial.
Yeah, we have to redistinguish because the thing is, like, I think what you are trying to highlight is like the mental state, whether you are aware of being killed, for instance, right? And while I think suffering is obviously very important, right, we can still say in moral terms that harming someone else, you can also harm someone even if they're not aware, right? So, for instance, let's imagine like a very young individual. Like, let's say we can just imagine, like, even myself, I'm 29, 9 years of age, and let's suppose I go to sleep, and then my heart suddenly stops beating, right? And now we as humans, we can basically assess the situation and we could say, was my death a harm to me? Right, I was not suffering, right? I mean, my heart stopped beating and I basically passed away. Obviously, most people would say there was a harm, right? Because I lost something, basically. Something was taken away. Now, no one did something wrong because it was just natural, right? But still, I was being harmed. Does it make sense to you?
If you was grown for the food and you
No, hold
lived
on. No,
happy,
you don't. You don't answer
can
my
you
question.
just finish my?
Yeah, because you don't. Have you understood what I just said about like me sleeping in my bed and then my
If
heart
right now
stops
you
beating?
sleeping and right now you will die
Yeah.
tonight, it will be fucking totally unfair.
Exactly.
If you
Yeah. I
will,
mean, unfair is maybe the wrong word because no one is doing that to me. Let's say my heart stops beating, right? I mean, maybe I'm not suffering, right? But you can still say it's a great harm. It's a moral harm because I passed away prematurely, right? And I lost my experiences, my future, my autonomy, my consciousness, and obviously my family will suffer as well. So there can be things where you don't feel suffering, right? But you can still be harmed. That's what I'm saying. And so if we go back to the animal case, right? And let's suppose we have two worlds. In the first world, you're killing the animal, and in the second world, you do not kill the animal, right? Obviously, in the first world, the cow is losing something. So, and if you compare both worlds, one cow has it better than the other one.
okay.
Do you understand? Yeah.
I understand that. And can I
Yeah.
speak?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
Just listen, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we living. For example, we take our walls. What we have now, we have big industries who treating cows like to farm and killing and get tons of meat. They having a bad living and suffer and no seeing light.
Yeah.
And it's obviously unfair and obviously suffering. And it's bad thing. I agree with that. But if I have my own farm, I growing my own animal, I will treat him well, I will feed him well, and I will give all my life a love to him, and he will not suffer to any of his days. Just he will live a happy life, but suffer only one day, and I will eat him after that. It will make me a bad person and bad things. Just okay.
No,
And in case of the
all I'm saying is, again, we can take, I think it's a beautiful example, what you just said. It's beautiful. And we can do the test again that I just said. Okay, imagine now in your head two worlds. It's in both worlds, it's you having the animal. In both worlds, you respect them. But in the first world, you decide one day you kill them very kindly, maybe, and in the second world, you respect them and you do not kill them. You let them live naturally until they die. Which world is more moral?
will be moral in the your second world, but thing is, we don't have a second world. We have only one world. And you know what will be happen if we will get free? All the cows, all the chickens in the world free. Like, what will happen to them? They will die from
okay,
the
hold on.
starving.
Okay. So this is like the second argument. But before you once you start, you also said this is not how the world is right now. Is that what you just said? That's not how the world works. Or what was it? Because obviously we are talking about veganism because we believe that the second world should be the preferred one. We are saying
how you make a second world? I don't understand you.
Yeah,
Don't be delusional.
But giving you hold on, because you are a human and you like arguments, right, and reasons, which is why we talk to you. We try to give you the arguments. Only you first. I can't change other people. I am only talking to you and to the audience right now on this on Discord. Yeah. So all I can say is if you prefer the second world, then you have more reasons to not kill animals, even if they have a good life. Because you admitted to yourself it's more moral to let them live, even if they have a perfect life. You don't kill them. Because killing someone, if they don't want to, it's always a bad thing.
Okay,
right?
You're right. But if that's you wanna live like in the second world, you can do happy for one cow. You can take from the suffering, from the pain, one cow from that sow or that farm, and after that, and growing that cow and care of that cow, and he will die from his oldness. And after that, why you don't make that thing? If you wanted to just stopping of this, what vegans wanted to be to this world. You wanted to make a second world. What you talking about? Or what?
No. So we believe. I mean, obviously, I'm just one vegan. I have my own opinions, but I have the view that all these animals that we brought into existence, we have genetically modified them. These are all. I mean, you could say they are genetically like different breeds. And I think if we have genetically modified them, they will usually also suffer sometimes if they have like large breasts or if they gain a lot of weight, etc., etc. So we believe that we should not bring animals into the world just for our benefit if it's not necessary anymore, right? So if I want to drink milk, I don't create a cow. I can just drink soy milk or almond milk. You know, I don't need to create a cow for my benefit. I leave them alone. I don't slaughter them. You know? And I respect animals that are living right now. If they need my help, maybe I can help them. But I don't create more of these slaves.
Okay, and how that it will be possible in our situation, in our life? Like you, a president of United States or United of human race, and you will be make of the rule. We don't eat cows. We don't eat animals. And what will be happened to all these animals who living right now? They can't not be a natural part of creation right now. They just if we will let them go free, they will die. But we physically cannot make them live happy life. They will all anyway die. And what means of their days if we just can eat them?
Yeah, so if I were the president of the world right now, obviously there's like two responses. The first one is it's very difficult to answer if the world turns vegan tomorrow. If that happens, this is an absolutely difficult question to answer. What should we do with these animals? But if we talk about what will happen if the world becomes vegan, let's say in the next 100 years or 50 years, that's a bit easier. Because if you choose, you or me, if we both decide not to buy animal products anymore, no milk, no cheese, no meat, nothing, the farmers, they will produce less and less and less animals. So there will be no problems with all of these animals because they will produce less victims. You know, that's the thing. So first there will
And
be, let's say,
that's
100. Yeah.
and
Go
I
ahead.
think that will be to causing killing of the full of the race, maybe.
Well, it's not killing. It's. I mean, it's. Yeah, we have to be very
It will
careful
be
with the word.
entirely
Well, we don't
annihilation
kill
of
them.
all the core
Yeah.
race. If we don't care of them, they can't survive.
Wait,
It
but
means
No.
all
Hold
this.
on. You missed one thing.
What's the worst
Wait,
thing that
wait.
can happen? One second. What's the worst thing that can happen if we leave these
Yeah.
animals alone? What's the absolute worst thing that can happen?
They will die
Space.
from the starving.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
will
Complete
die.
ecological collapse in a lot of cases.
They will die in the suffer. No,
Okay.
you don't agree with me?
No,
Or you will care of that cow
So
or
I don't know
something.
if I don't know if they would die of starvation. And there's plenty of solutions, plenty of things you can do with these animals. But
What?
if the worst thing that would happen to them is they would die, then surely you killing them isn't necessarily better, is it?
If
No,
you
it's worse,
give
actually.
that animal a happy life, they will knowing the suffer in his entire life and will suffer only one day. I think it will be better just that annihilation of all
Becca,
this race.
would you rather be enslaved but happy, like somebody gives you everything that you need, but you're enslaved, you have no freedom to choose for yourself? Or would you rather be free and risk it, live however you want to live?
You means risk it or
So I'm asking you, would
getting
you rather
totally
be
annihilated?
would you rather be a slave and fed, or not a
no.
slave and
Yeah,
risk your
if-
life living normally?
If you give me only two choices, I will be rather to stop. It depends of what means to being a slave. If I am slave but I am happy, why I not choose
Well, let's put it this way: you wouldn't know if you're happy or not.
choose to being a slave? But
somebody
we
just
saying slave. You can know.
Well, the thing is, it's not just about being a
Technically,
slave,
you
right?
can know happy animal or
yeah, but
not
it's
happy.
listen. These animals, you call them happy because you think you give them what you need to give them so that they grow big or whatever. It's like somebody, time after time, feeding you the perfect diet, which would be vegetables, feeding you exactly what you need to thrive, restricting your freedom. You would make no choice in what you eat or what you do. And when they say that the time comes, and that's usually at a fraction of their natural lifespan, that would be at a fraction of your natural lifespan, they take away your life. And we've already established that that would be unfair towards you. So what you're saying is that you would rather have an unfair life that would be a little bit easier in some regard, rather than a life where you have freedom to pursue and do what you want to do?
It depends on what you
you're
where
not being
are you
intellectually
slaving.
honest.
If you okay,
you're
how I
living
can
in
be
your-
intellectually honest? Ask me again and please speak slowly. I
Yeah,
have
sure.
bad
I'm-
English.
So, do you think that, imagine slavery, 200 years ago there was slavery. Do you think that if we were to give those slaves good living conditions, that we would give them everything that we think they need, it would be better than us giving them freedom where maybe they might not have a chance like they do, like a lot of them nowadays, because we've enslaved them, they don't have the same opportunities that we do today. So do you think it would be better for us to continue enslaving them but giving them a good life, or to give them freedom?
How can I answer to your question? It's in the simplest way. Can you please make sentence more simple for being me more intelligently honest? What do you say? Because I wanna. Can I just give one sentence? After that, you can ask me questions again.
Sure.
We have right now we have cows. Yes, if we go to feed them, they will die. It's like I am on the human, and from this different dimensions thing, they grow me to feeding, and they have to plan it for me living, and I don't know, suffering, and I'm happy. And and they just decided to I'm going to free, and eventually the world is not comfortable to living for me without their care. I like
no,
in
but
the
wait
something
1 second.
simulation. I like in space and alien ship, and I don't know how to controlling them, and I will like just go and die in somewhere, just like calves will be like dying or cheating.
Just to reiterate what you're saying, because just to be clear, I'm going to say exactly what you said, but with the with a bit more of an objective view of it, okay? So what you're saying is that it is morally preferable for you to bring cows into existence, give them a good life, exploit them in the process, and kill them when you want to, rather than you stopping doing all this and maybe setting some of them free because you're already doing this, right? Like the whole point of it, like regardless of what happens, what we would do with animals if everybody in the world would become vegan, because that's already an impossible hypothetical, but even if it were possible, we would find solutions definitely better than sending them to a slaughterhouse. Like the whole point of it, it doesn't even matter, but the whole point of it is that you no longer bring animals into existence so that you have to find a solution for them. Do you understand that?
I have to find the solution for them.
You don't.
Not we vegans.
No, you don't. You, as an individual, if you have animals at your care right now, and you actually call it caring, you cannot care about an animal if you choose to kill them for something you don't need. If you want to care for them, continuously care for them, just like you would a dog. I'm assuming if you have a dog, you care for them, you give them food, and they don't really give you like milk or meat back, right? You just see them as an animal that you take care of. Why is it that you have so much difficulty seeing all these other animals in the same way? Somebody you want to take care of. If you want to.
Okay.
The whole point of us is saying you don't need to do any of it.
I think there's a pro. So I think one of the thing is because Beckham believes, or I think it's plausible, right? You give someone a good life and then you kill them. It sounds very nice, but the thing is, Beckham, you have to understand. Just imagine this animal that you just created, right? That comes into existence. They have. Let's suppose it's hypothetical. It's maybe a bit difficult, but imagine if this animal can't give you that you want. They can't produce meat. They can't produce any milk. Nothing. Let's say they are like deficient, right? Would you still care for them? Yeah, let's suppose you have a cow, right? You have a cow and they can't produce any milk. They can't gain any body weight, nothing. They can't gain that. They can't give you what you want, basically. What would you do now? Yeah, but would you still respect them? No, because you give them a good life only for one reason. You give them a good life first, or actually maybe for two reasons. Because you want to feel good, and second of all, because you want something from them. If these animals cannot give what you want, right, you kill them, basically. So you only pay respect to these animals. You only give them a good life because it serves you a benefit. It gives you a benefit. That's it, right? Because you get something from them. It's not pure respect. You only take care of them because you know these animals will give you something in the end. It's like a transaction. You know what I'm saying? It's like a financial transaction. They give you something, you give something back. But this is not about compassion.
Are you right? And what question I should answer to you?
No, this is all basically I'm saying. This is your view. I try to summarize your point of view, and we believe this is wrong, right? Because animals are not.
With you.
Yeah, because animals are not here for us. Animals are here for themselves. They have their own life, and we should leave them alone, I believe. We don't have to touch them. We don't have to kill them or abuse them. Nothing. If we have some other foods to eat, we don't have to touch these poor animals. That's my opinion.
If we don't touch any animals, we
Yeah.
will not survive like humans.
We will.
Because
We will.
we how many peoples in our planet? 8 or 9 billions. How we grow that big numbers in all the humans period of living of humanity? It's because we taking from animals their lands. We build these big cities and that places now don't belongs to the animal. They can't survive in that places.
So
And
2 points. Yeah, 2 points. First of all, I mean, I would like to bring it back. I mean, we can address the issue about the global world, right? And whether it would be possible to feed everyone a vegan diet. But also keep in mind that we mostly talk about yourself and your situation right now. If you can be a vegan, we can address also the global effect, right? And we believe that it is possible, right? But we also have to keep in mind that it's about you. And if you are able to, right, if you're able to make the switch, I think you should. Because in philosophy, it's called ought implies can. So if you should do something, you have to be able to. And if you're able to do something, then you should. Right? That's the thing. People in Africa, they can't. Yeah, exactly.
I able to give the animal a happy life, and that's I think what, and that's why it's bad from not eating them. I don't know if just we go to Freeman. He will talk.
Like Becca. So if you think that if you give somebody a good life, you have the right to take that life away from them.
That's not good.
If we speaking about just about your questions, I don't agree. I don't agree with you. It's not.
So I ask you, if you give somebody a good life, do you think you have the right to take that life away from them?
No.
So then, what gives you the right to take the life away from an animal if you gave them a good life?
Because that life will be anyway taken, and that life will be taken from the suffered animal.
Who said that life will anyway be taken?
Will be.
How is that? How is
because
that?
We have because animal days and every day you can make a just happy life from.
Wait,
from,
humans
for,
die
for
every
one.
day. Humans die every day. Humans are killed every day. How is any of that relevant? That's not the
Becca,
moral justification for you to do it.
No.
Becca, do you know 2 things? The first thing is, do you know what premature means? Premature?
Can you explain, please?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Okay. Premature basically means sooner than expected. So when I talk about premature killing, I'm basically saying you're killing a cow or a sheep or a chicken before actually their death is naturally possible. So if you kill a cow, let's say when they're 3 years of age, or 4 or 5, I don't care, you're taking away their life sooner, right? They don't want that. And that is the thing. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you kill them. You are a moral person and you are taking out your knife and you are you are doing the bad thing. If nature does it or because they're old or sick, that's not your responsibility. That's something that is part of life. But it's not part of life to take out your knife and to kill them sooner than is expected. You kill them and this is responsibility.
It will be good for cow to go free without human, just leave, go to the nature.
No, hold on. Okay, we can address this because this is something you mentioned a lot of times, right? So you just think either we have cows and chicken and animals in slaughterhouses or in a farm, or we leave them outside in the wild. But we have many other options as well, right? We have sanctuaries, for instance. We have people who care about these animals that don't kill them. We don't have to put them in the wild, right? There are many people who care about them, but most importantly, we should not slaughter them because we don't have any space. Becca, would you believe, because we are so many, let's say there are so many humans on this earth, let's say in India, do you think we should kill them because there are too many?
Of course not.
No, exactly. No. So you should try to take care of them, and maybe some people, or maybe humanity should maybe reduce a bit with humans, maybe a little bit, not all, but a little bit. And the same with the animals too. We have to control how many they bring out, because otherwise we will also have issues, for sure. But we should definitely not put them in the wild or shoot them or kill them. That makes no sense, right?
You're right, but can you not think like a kid? How you will care about all these animals in the world who
Yeah, I
can't
told you.
survive in the nature because
Yeah.
they will grown by the humans by ages and ages. They can't
I
live
told
without
you.
humans'
I
care.
told you already. I told you already. If more and more people become vegan, year after year, day after day, farmers will bring less animals to the world. So we won't get so many animals at some point. Let's say from now on, in the next 20 years, every day people become more and more vegan. Less and less cows, chickens, and etc. will be brought into the world. Less and less, not more and more, right? Less and less, but people still buy meat, but it will be less total. In total, less animals come into the world. So there will be no issue. There won't be like billions and billions of animals because they will produce less because they see everyone is buying carrots, salad, tofu, whatever, broccoli, no more meat. So they say it's not worth it. We don't make any money with these cows. We bring less cows to the world. Do you understand this?
This I understand, but it's not I am telling about.
Yeah. What are you telling
Like
about?
we have okay, just see examples from my country. I live in Kazakhstan. We here eat horses. In
Yeah.
many of world, they don't eat horses.
Yeah.
They can like watching us. We don't eat dogs, for example, and we can. Okay, that's I don't know how to understand, but in our country we have two type of horses. One type produced only for the food, like for meat, and second type it's for the care, like he will be for the race, he will be for the just like you telling like dogs, like animals, like your friend. And in that case, we never eat that horses who raised like friends. We never do that, and we only eat that horses who will grown for the meat.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. That's it. I'm gonna go. I have to eat something. As I said, I'm sick. I got a viral infection, upper respiratory infection. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat something and then relax a little bit. I wanted to do a little bit of outreach before I go. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I hope you enjoyed some of the conversations. Yeah, this last one was a bit ridiculous, but I think I wanted to cut it right there because I think it really does show the absurdity of this idea. There's literally, in his country, he said there's two types of horses, ones that are bred for meat and ones that are bred for, I don't know, pet ownership or something. And you definitely see the ridiculousness in the argument, because the same animal is is literally treated differently if they're if they're a different breed. Like they're the same species even, but if they're a different breed, they get treated differently. Like the sheer ridiculousness of that is insane, right? It's so absurd. And you go along, like that's the thing about all of this, is that you go along with it because you grew up that way. Somebody taught you that that's how it needs to be, and you never actually question it. And you end up in a situation where you're basically discriminating based on the most ridiculous traits that you shouldn't be discriminating against. So yeah, that's a good stopping point. The server is still in the description. If you want to go ahead and listen to the rest of the discussion, you can go ahead and listen there. I don't know when I'll be back. I really want to do some street activism. I really wanted to go and do street outreach today, but I don't want to spread the virus. Like I feel pretty okay during the day. In the evening, it's kind of annoying because of the nose. You know, like it just, if I sleep on one side, it goes on. One side gets congested. If I sleep on the other, it gets congested. So that's kind of annoying. Yeah, so I really don't want to spread the virus, even if I'm okay during the day. I'm trying to be responsible, and I know I got it from somebody who was irresponsible. I'm trying to be responsible about it. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. As I said, I appreciate everybody who's here. Nasal straps, says Lewis. I think I have some of them. I'll try them. I also think I have, I need to buy some of those nasal strips. Yeah, the ones that you put here, right? That you put here. I have them. They're very annoying. I also need to buy some, the ones that clear your nose. Yeah, get well. Thank you, everybody, for being so nice. Yeah. I will get well. And if I'm still not able to do some street outreach these days, I don't know, today's Friday, maybe tomorrow we'll do a little bit of chilling, playing some games or something. I don't know. Build a little bit of the community. We have a pretty good community here in the chat, and I'm just so happy that everybody who comes here is such an awesome person, and we talk to each other, we listen, I don't know. I feel like we're kind of like friends, so I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. No reason to exploit animals, no reason to continue with it. And shout out to Draculum for being the first person to give a comment the last time. We do this little contest, but Draculum always wins. It's not even a contest anymore because Draculum always wins. Yeah, but thank you. I see you, Draculum. I see you. Now that I have acknowledged, I don't know when I will end this stream. Maybe I won't end it now. No, I'll end it. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Have an awesome day. Speak up for animals, and you know, you see, it's honestly, there were some good conversations today. Sometimes there's good conversations, sometimes there's a bit more heated conversations, but overall it was pretty good. I appreciate everybody being here. Have an awesome day. Maybe wear a mask if you're in the Netherlands or something, because apparently there's a virus going around. And if not, I don't know. That's it. Nothing more. I appreciate you being here. Okay. No need to end all of this. Okay.